Introduction. Stop giving a damn FK, why caring less gives you more. You know that heavy feeling in your chest when you wake up. Your mind fires up before your coffee does. There are emails waiting, messages pinging, expectations tuning in like a radio you cannot turn off. You care. You care about doing well at work, being there for friends, keeping your body and mind together, and making your family proud. You care so much that you have become a walking fire alarm for everything that is not actually a fire. If someone is disappointed, you feel it like a heat lamp on your neck. If there is a mistake at work, you replay it at midnight like a horror movie. If a stranger online posts a highlight reel, you compare your Tuesday to their yacht. You are tired of caring, but you do not want to turn into a cold robot. You are not trying to stop caring altogether. You want to stop caring about the wrong things, the small stuff, the noise that steals your attention and your life. You want your energy back. You want the courage to say no without feeling like a jerk. You want a simple way to make decisions that does not depend on your mood or your inbox. You want to care less, strategically, so you can live more, fully. That is the promise in front of you. This is the book that helps you do it. The pain you know too well. There is nothing glamorous about burning yourself out on trivia. You overbook your calendar because it feels awkward to say no. You delay tough conversations because hope seems easier than clarity. You scroll through other people's opinions and absorb them like a sponge. You chase approval from bosses, clients, friends, and whoever happens to be watching. You hold on to toxic connections because they were not always toxic, and because leaving would be uncomfortable. Your attention is a leaking bucket. Notifications pull you away from your work and your family. You multitask because everything feels urgent, then you wonder why your progress is shallow and your patience is thin. You know that a meaningful life is built on values, yet your days are built on reacting to whatever shouts loudest. Failure feels final, so you hide from it and pretend you are fine. Your confidence dips because you break small promises to yourself, then your self-respect follows because you silently notice. You do a lot, you care about a lot, and you are exhausted. This is a losing game, and you can feel it. The deeper truth is you are not broken. You are misallocated. Your attention does not have a clear job. It serves whatever knocks. Without a decision filter, you say yes to noise. Without boundaries, you are available to everyone except yourself. Without resilience routines, stress becomes your personality. Without an approval detox, other people's metrics run your day. Without rituals that embody your values, your calendar drifts away from what matters most. The pain is real, and it is fixable. Why this matters right now? You do not have infinite bandwidth. Time is finite, and energy is not a mythic reservoir that refills with a motivational quote. The world is louder than ever, and it is built to grab your attention. If you do not claim your life, someone else will allocate it for you. Every minute you spend worrying about trivial things is a minute you do not spend on your craft, your health, your people, and your peace. Every unexamined yes accumulates obligations that were never your values. Waiting for the perfect timing is a soft trap. You do not need a new year or a 5-day retreat. You need a decision filter and a handful of repeatable routines that start right now. Your stress and your confidence respond to structure, not slogans. If you act today, you begin relieving the pressure you have been normalizing. If you wait, your calendar will fill with someone else's priorities. The urgency is not fear. The urgency is honest math. You have one life. Caring less about the wrong things is how you finally care more about the right ones. What you will get from this book. This book gives you a direct path from scatter to clarity. You will build a values-first filter that turns your attention into a precise tool. You will learn how to set clean boundaries without guilt, and how to handle pushback with calm repetition. You will reclaim your bandwidth, simplify your digital life, and restore focus without quitting your job or your city. You will learn how to let go of toxic people and stale obligations, and how to swap self-sabotaging habits for ones that serve your identity. You will make peace with failure and your limits, so you stop seeing setbacks as verdicts. You will build real resilience with simple routines that take minutes, not hours. You will earn daily confidence by keeping small promises to yourself and rewiring your self-talk. You will detox from approval addiction, process criticism without spiraling, and ground your choices in authenticity. Finally, you will design a value-driven life with a North Star statement, a calendar that reflects your priorities, and reviews that keep you aligned. The content is practical and slightly edgy. It cuts through fluff with humor when you need it and straight talk when you do not. Every chapter gives you stories, tools, scripts, and small exercises that you can use immediately. The goal is not to give you more things to worry about. The goal is to help you stop giving a damn FK about what does not matter, so you have the energy to serve what does. Why this no-nonsense approach works. You have tried pep talks that fizzled. You have tried productivity hacks that made you busier. You have tried avoiding hard conversations until they became harder. What works is a simple approach that favors clarity over complexity. The methods in this book are practical and repeatable. You will build decisions around values, which removes most anxiety and second guessing. You will use short phrases and scripts, so you can say no without turning it into a novel. You will structure your attention with small blocks, which gives you deep work without drama. You will audit old obligations and exit with grace, which calms your nervous system and protects your dignity. You will learn to fail better, which keeps your identity safe during growth. You will train resilience as a daily routine, not as a badge of honor. You will earn confidence through micro-commitments, not through mystical inspiration. You will detox from approval, which frees you to choose based on your values. You will stack all of this into a weekly and quarterly rhythm, so the change sticks. You are not asked to become a different person overnight. You are invited to become a more honest version of yourself, step by step. This approach respects your reality. It does not require vanish from society minimalism or personality transplant optimism. It works because it gives you a compass and a set of small tools. You choose what to carry. You choose what to drop. You create a life that finally reflects what you say you care about. If you are sick of being told to hustle harder, this book will feel like a glass of water in a desert of noise. Inside the chapters, what you will learn. Chapter 1, Introduction, The Art of Caring Less and Living More. You start by seeing that you are not broken, your attention is simply overspent. You learn what caring less really means, that it is precision, not apathy. You get quick wins, identify an energy leak, say one no, and remove one pointless notification. You begin the shift from reflexive caring to values-driven caring. Chapter 2, The Values First Filter, Decide what deserves your energy. You clarify your top values and translate them into daily behaviors. You build the hell yes or no ladder, use the impact alignment matrix, and define non-negotiables and minimum standards. You practice choices across work, relationships, health, and growth. Your yes becomes powerful because your no becomes clear. Chapter 3, Attention is Currency, Reclaim Your Bandwidth. You audit your attention leaks without going off the grid. You build an attention budget, create daily focus stacks, and use single tasking sprints for deep work. You batch inputs, tame notifications, and set respectful rules for interruptions. Your week starts to reflect your values instead of your inbox. Chapter 4, Boundaries Without Guilt, Saying No Like You Mean It. You learn the no sandwich, a brief reason, a clear no, a warm close. You define red lines and schedule boundaries so they are visible and enforceable. You handle pushback and manipulation with prepared phrases. You map your boundary statements to time blocks so your calendar protects your priorities. Chapter 5, Cut the Dead Weight, People, Habits, and Obligations. You run a toxicity tax calculator and an obligation audit. You identify repeat offenders and stale commitments. You learn exit strategies that minimize drama, narrow bridges instead of burning them, and design a habit swap that upgrades your identity. Your life gets lighter without the guilt trip. Chapter 6, Fail Better, Making Peace with Setbacks and Limitations. You separate identity from outcomes. You use a failure debrief canvas and a growth loop to turn mistakes into upgrades. You create a constraints charter so your plans match your reality. You learn healthy accountability and how to own errors with calm authority. Failure becomes data. Limits become design inputs. Chapter 7, Real Resilience, Stress, Uncertainty, and Emotional Flexibility. You practice the respond do not react protocol, which creates a pause and a choice. You run the 3R recovery routine to reset in minutes. You use scenario stacking to prepare for roadblocks. You build emotional granularity and simple breath techniques to stabilize fast. Resilience becomes a daily habit that travels with you. Chapter 8, Confidence and Self-Respect, Earn It Daily. You draft a promises you keep list with realistic commitments. You rewrite toxic scripts with a self-talk rewire. You climb a micro-bravery ladder to train discomfort in small steps. You build posture, presence, and preparation as confidence pillars. You run a 14-day sprint that hardwires integrity and momentum. Chapter 9, Approval Detox, free yourself from other people's metrics. You run a 7-day approval fast. You write an authenticity anchor statement. You use a critic classifier to sort feedback into helpful, neutral, or irrelevant. You set boundaries on social media and comparison traps. You decline performative obligations with simple scripts. Your attention stops chasing gold stars. Chapter 10, Design a meaningful value-driven life. You craft a North Star statement and translate values into calendar blocks. You run weekly reviews and quarterly resets that prune obligations and reinforce boundaries. You set fewer goals with clearer constraints and build rituals for presence, service, craft, and connection. You leave with a 90-day plan, not just inspiration. You also get 3 bonuses that make the system portable. The No BS Decision Filter Checklist. A quick guide for values-aligned decisions with prompts and mini scripts. Boundary Script Builder Template. A fill-in-the-blank tool that helps you write clear boundary statements for common situations. Values to Calendar Weekly Planning Guide. A step-by-step guide to block your week so it reflects what actually matters. How to use this book for maximum value. Take this book like a training plan, not a binge watch. Read chapter 1 today and do the micro exercises before you close the book. Pick one energy leak and fix it immediately. When you reach chapter 2, build your values first filter. Write your top 5 values and tie each to one behavior. Put those behaviors in your calendar for the next week. In chapter 3, design your attention budget for the coming 7 days. Batch inputs, set rules for interruptions, and schedule 2 single tasking sprints. In chapter 4, choose 5 boundary situations you face and write your no sandwich scripts. Practice them out loud. Map them to time blocks. In chapter 5, run your toxicity tax calculator. Pick one relationship to reduce and one obligation to exit. Design your habit swap for a daily cue. In chapter 6, debrief a recent failure. Write 3 insights and 1 small upgrade. Draft your constraints charter for your next project. In chapter 7, set your 3R recovery routine and your daily resilience anchors. In chapter 8, write your promises you keep list for 14 days and choose one micro bravery ladder step for this week. In chapter 9, run the approval fast and write your authenticity anchor. In chapter 10, craft your North Star statement and design your next 90 days with weekly reviews and a quarterly reset date on your calendar. Keep it simple. Do not aim for perfect. Aim for honest and repeatable. Treat exercises as checks and reps, not tests. Use the bonus tools. Keep your journal short and consistent. If you miss a day, resume without drama. If you hit resistance, run the respond do not react protocol and choose the next small step. If you start to drift, reread chapter 2 and chapter 10. The goal is a calm life that reflects your values, not a gold star collection. Your transformation awaits. Picture your life with fewer unnecessary yes. Your calendar reflects your priorities. You have longer stretches of focus and shorter stretches of stress. You make decisions without rehearsing guilt. You exit stale obligations with grace. You handle failure without spiraling. You recover quickly when things get messy. You speak to yourself with respect and keep small promises that stack into trust. You stop chasing likes and start serving your values. Your confidence feels earned, not borrowed. Your relationships feel honest because your boundaries are clear. Your goals shrink into fewer, better commitments. Your days feel meaningfully full, not chronically busy. You care less about the wrong things and more about the right ones. That is not a fantasy. That is what happens when you use a values-first filter, reclaim your attention, set boundaries, cut dead weight, fail better, train resilience, earn confidence, detox from approval, and design your life on purpose. You will laugh at your old overcaring habits. You will feel light when you say no. You will sense integrity when you follow your values instead of your mood. The noise will still exist, but it will not own you. You will own your attention. You will own your choices. You will own your life. Turn the page. Start caring less where it counts. Start living more where it matters. Introduction: The Art of Caring Less and Living More. Why caring less frees you to live more. Your attention is a currency. Spend it well, you feel clear and alive. Spray it everywhere, you feel drained and annoyed. If you open this book, you are probably tired of carrying other people's priorities like a backpack that never gets put down. You care about everything, so nothing gets your best. The boss's last-minute ask, the friend's crisis that repeats every week, the app that pokes you like a needy toddler. Here is the twist. Caring less is not apathy. It is precision. You do not stop caring. You pick what gets your yes and let the rest roll off like rain on a jacket. When your attention follows your values, stress drops and confidence rises. You stop running on guilt and start moving on purpose. This chapter shows you how your mental bandwidth actually works, why people-pleasing backfires, and how small sharp changes make big relief. The attention leak that keeps you stressed. You have a finite mental budget. Every worry, favor, and notification spends a little. Most of us overspend on trivia and underinvest in what actually moves the needle. The result is chronic low-grade stress and shallow progress. You are busy and behind. You say yes to avoid discomfort. You jump when something feels urgent, then leave meaningful work in drafts. You try to be liked, which is a moving target. You chase approval, which has no finish line. The real problem is not your calendar. It is the lack of a filter. Without a filter, every request sounds important and every feeling seems true. You overcare by default and undercare by design. That is expensive. It costs sleep, focus, and self-respect. The good news, you can plug the leaks fast. Start with clarity, then guard it. The precision caring method. Precision caring means you choose what to care about, how much to care, and when to stop. It is a simple repeatable method that aligns attention to values and sets boundaries that stick. Step 1. Clarify values. Pick 5 words that describe the kind of person you are trying to be. Translate each into behaviors you can see. Step 2. Apply a filter. Before you say yes, ask, does this align with my values, and will it have real impact? If not, it gets a no, or a later. Step 3. Set hard edges. Define non-negotiables for sleep, health, deep work, and key relationships. Protect them like rent money. Step 4. Focus in blocks. Use short focus sprints for meaningful tasks, and batch the rest. Make it easy to do the right things more often. Step 5. Review weekly. Notice what drained you, what mattered, what to drop. Adjust the filter and keep trimming distractions. This is not perfection, it is consistent selection and fearless pruning that builds momentum. How mental bandwidth works and why people-pleasing backfires. Think of your brain like a small team with limited seats. Every task, decision, message, and worry tries to grab a chair. When the room is full, you keep switching. That switch has a cost. You lose time to ramp up, you make more mistakes, and you feel fatigued even before lunch. This is not you being weak. It is physics of attention. People-pleasing seems harmless because it avoids conflict now. In reality, it trades short-term comfort for long-term resentment. You say yes to protect a reputation, then you resent the hours spent on work that does not matter to you. That makes you less present with the people and projects that do. The cycle repeats, and your self-respect slowly leaks out. Values-driven caring flips that script. When you select based on what matters, you decide once and save energy daily. You set clear expectations early, which prevents drama later. You accept that someone might be disappointed, and you refuse to be owned by that feeling. Confidence rises because you are keeping promises to yourself. Stress drops because fewer low-value tasks live on your plate. You do not become rude. You become specific. That is the heart of caring less and living more. Simple. Start today with small, sharp moves. Big change happens through small consistent cuts. You do not need a perfect plan. You need a few crisp moves you can repeat this week. Move 1. Find one energy leak. Scan your last 7 days. Identify the recurring thing that drains you and delivers little return. Decide on one boundary that cuts its cost. Move 2. Say one clean no. Use a simple line, thanks for thinking of me, I do not have capacity for this right now. If you must soften, offer a tiny alternative that fits your values. Move 3. Remove one pointless notification. Pick the app that shouts the most and silence it. Check muted apps on your terms, not theirs, once or twice each day, briefly, as needed. Move 4, schedule one focus block. 30 minutes is enough. Close tabs, and do the highest value task on your list. Repeat until they feel normal. Momentum beats intensity. Consistency builds self-trust, which makes bigger boundaries easier later. You are learning to care with intention, daily. Stories from work, relationships, and health. Work. Maya led a team and felt buried in requests. She built a simple filter: does this serve our top 3 goals? She shared it with her boss. In 2 weeks, her yes rate dropped and the quality rose. Her calendar opened for deep work. Her team shipped one key project early. People respected her clarity. Relationships. Ben had a friend who treated him like emergency services. Ben set a boundary: I care about you, I am not available for late night venting, let us talk on weekends. The friend pushed back. Ben stayed firm and suggested a therapist. The crisis calls stopped. The friendship improved because it finally had a shape. Health. Leah said she had no time to exercise. She set a non-negotiable: a 20-minute walk every lunch. Within 3 weeks, mood lifted and sleep improved. She protected the walk like a meeting. Colleagues noticed and joined. Small filters change flow, then outcomes, then identity, fast. Traps and how to dodge them. Trap 1, confusing apathy with clarity. Caring less does not mean you stop showing up. It means you show up for fewer things with more presence. Trap 2, making boundaries complicated. Long speeches invite debate. Clear short lines end it. Trap 3, letting moods drive choices. Feelings are signals, not orders. Use your values to decide, then let the feeling pass. Trap 4, waiting for permission. You have to claim it. Trap 5, quitting after one awkward moment. Awkward is temporary. Self-respect lasts. When you see these traps, you stop personalizing friction. You start treating it as part of the work of living on purpose. Name the trap aloud, choose the fix, and move on quickly without guilt, mostly. Key takeaways. Caring less is precision: your attention follows your values and impact. Your mental bandwidth is limited, spend it deliberately or stress compounds fast. People-pleasing trades short-term comfort for long-term resentment and drift. A values filter makes decisions easier, clarity beats motivation and noise. Non-negotiables protect sleep, health, deep work, and relationships that truly matter. Small moves, one leak, one no, one notification, build momentum daily. Specific boundaries are kind, long explanations invite debate you do not need. Review weekly, trim distractions, and keep promises to yourself for confidence. Decide once, save energy daily, reduce friction everywhere. Actions to take this week. Micro exercises. List your top 3 drains from the last week. For each, write one sentence on why it delivers little return. Draft 3 values you want to live by this month. Translate each into one visible daily behavior. Write a one-line no you can use. Practice saying it out loud until it sounds clean. Pick one app to mute for 7 days. Decide when you will check it. Schedule one 30-minute focus block tomorrow. Choose the highest value task and start with 2 minutes. Reflection questions. Where did you give your attention to please rather than to serve? What non-negotiable, if kept daily, would change your life in 6 months? When you said no recently, what feeling showed up, and what story did it tell? Which request will you decline this week, and how will you phrase it clearly? Keep it scrappy. You are building a habit of attention. The goal is not perfect execution. The goal is honest alignment, followed by one simple move today. From clarity to choices. You just met the core idea that will hold this book together. Caring less is precision, not apathy. When your attention aligns to your values, you stop bleeding energy on trivia and start living on purpose. This chapter gave you a simple method, moves, and proof that the shift is doable. You saw how people-pleasing backfires and how values-driven caring puts you back in the driver's seat. The quick wins are real. One clean no can clear an hour. One muted app can save a dozen switches. One focus block can remind you what presence feels like. We will build your values first filter, a practical test to decide what deserves your yes. You will clarify your top 5 values, turn them into visible behaviors, and set non-negotiables that protect what matters most. Give your attention a backbone. Life feels lighter when you care with intention, daily. The values first filter, decide what deserves your energy. The values first filter, decide what deserves your energy. Chapter Introduction. In the first chapter, you saw why caring less is not apathy, it is precision. You have a finite attention budget and a lot of sneaky drains pretending to matter. Now we build the tool that stops the leaks. Think of this chapter as installing a filter on your brain, the kind that catches junk before it lands on your calendar or your conscience. You will leave with a simple system to decide what deserves your energy. You will name your top values, translate them into behaviors, and use 2 quick frameworks to sort decisions in seconds. You will learn to say yes with confidence and no without guilt. As Derek Sivers says, if it is not a hell yes, it is a no. You will learn how to make that quote more than a poster. You will make it a practice. The problem: most people make decisions like squirrels on espresso. A notification pings, a co-worker asks for a favor, your friend texts about a last-minute party, and you say yes because saying no feels rude. You want to be helpful and you do not want to miss out. You end up busy, but not better. Your days fill with other people's priorities and your own goals wait for next week. Decision friction is the tax you pay when your values are fuzzy. You hesitate, you second guess, then you overcommit. You try to be everything everywhere, and your energy becomes popcorn. Without a filter, every request looks urgent and every shiny object looks like opportunity. That is how you make 1,000 tiny trades that do not serve you. The solution framework. The values first filter turns vague intentions into clear choices. It has 3 parts. First, define your top 5 values. These are the principles you want your life to reflect. Examples include health, family, mastery, impact, freedom, integrity, and learning. You will pick your 5 and attach each one to a behavior, so the value shows up in your day, not just in your journal. Second, use the hell yes or no ladder. This ladder sorts options by enthusiasm and clarity. If something is a hell yes, you do it. If it is a clear yes, you schedule it. If it is a qualified yes, you set conditions. If it is a maybe, it becomes a no or it waits in a parking lot. If it is a no, you decline with respect and move on. Third, apply the impact alignment matrix. Imagine a grid with impact on one axis and alignment with your values on the other. High impact and high alignment gets a yes. High impact and low alignment gets a pause and a reframe. Low impact and high alignment gets a small yes or a seasonal yes. Low impact and low alignment gets a no. This matrix saves you from shiny object syndrome and helps you pick work that actually moves the needle. Deep dive. Start with values because they remove 80% of decision friction. Pick 5. If you are stuck, write a long list and circle the words that make you feel awake. Narrow to 5 and write a 1-line definition for each one. Then tie each value to a daily or weekly behavior. For example, health means I move for 30 minutes 5 days a week and I sleep 7 hours. Family means I give my partner eye contact at dinner and protect a weekly date night. Mastery means I practice my craft for 45 minutes most days. Integrity means I tell the truth kindly and I keep my promises. Freedom means I keep 3 mornings open for deep work and I limit meetings. Now build the hell yes or no ladder. Picture 5 rungs. Hell yes. This is joy plus purpose. You feel excitement, and it obviously serves your values. Example, a role that lets you mentor and build in your zone of genius. Clear yes. This is solid alignment and decent energy. Example, a weekly workout you like, not love, that keeps you healthy. Qualified yes. This is useful but only with boundaries. Example, helping a friend move, but only for 2 hours on Saturday and you will not lift the piano. Maybe. This is fuzzy energy and questionable fit. It goes to your parking lot review the lot weekly. If it does not become a clear yes, it becomes a no. No. This does not serve your values or goals. Example, a meeting without an agenda or a project that drifts from your focus. Add the impact alignment matrix. Draw a box with 4 quadrants. High impact, high alignment. These are priority projects. A certification that advances your craft, an exercise routine that boosts mood and energy, a business initiative that serves your mission. High impact, low alignment. Powerful results but not true to you. A promotion that pays well but erodes your health. Consider a redesign. Can you negotiate scope, change hours, or split responsibilities? If you cannot fix alignment, say no. Low impact, high alignment. Feels good but moves slowly. A hobby that builds patience, a volunteering gig that aligns with your heart. Keep these small. Cap the time and protect the high impact work first. Low impact, low alignment. Easy no. Random committees, drama-filled group chats, a third streaming service. Decline or exit quickly. Use these tools together. First values, then the ladder, then the matrix. If a choice hits hell yes and lands in high impact, high alignment, schedule it. If it is a qualified yes, set conditions. If it is a maybe, let time and your values do the work. Implementation strategy. Here is your step-by-step guide to install the filter. List values, then rank. Write 10 values. Circle 5. Rank them in order. Define each with one sentence and one behavior. Translate values to calendar. Put behaviors on your calendar as recurring blocks. Protect them like real appointments. Build the ladder. Create a simple note with the 5 rungs. For each incoming request, tag it with a rung. Decide accordingly. Draw the matrix. On a paper or digital board, label the 4 quadrants. For any project or invitation, plot it by impact and alignment. Decide based on quadrant. Set non-negotiables. Pick 3 non-negotiables in health, relationships, and work. Example, 8 hours sleep, dinner without phones, 2 deep work blocks. Define minimum standards. Create baselines. Example, 10,000 steps average per day, reply to emails within 48 hours, maximum of 6 meetings per week. Create a parking lot, make a list of maybes. Review every Friday. Promote to clear yes only if it aligns with your top values. Script your NOS. Write 3 short responses. Example, thanks for thinking of me. I am focused on X this quarter, so I cannot take this on. Another example, I appreciate the invite. I am keeping my evenings clear for family right now. Share the filter. Tell your team or partner your non-negotiables and standards. You teach people how to treat your attention. Iterate weekly. Each Sunday, review what got your energy. Adjust behaviors and non-negotiables as needed. Real-world application. Work. Tasha is a project manager drowning in meetings. She plots her weekly calendar in the matrix. High impact, high alignment meetings stay. Status meetings with no agenda fall into low impact, low alignment. She sets a minimum standard of 6 meetings per week and declines the rest with clear scripts. Her deep work blocks deliver 2 key improvements that get her noticed for smart results, not just attendance. Relationships. Marco loves his friends but feels drained by constant group chats and late nights. His top values are health and mastery. He sets a non-negotiable of 3 early mornings for training and 2 evenings for practice. He moves the group hang to Saturday afternoon and leaves by 7. He keeps his relationships, and his energy, which is the point. Health. Priya has tried every plan. Her filter reduces choice overload. Health equals daily movement, sleep, and whole foods most of the time. She puts walks on the calendar, buys a simple grocery list, and draws a line at late night phone use. Decision friction falls, consistency rises, and her mood improves. Growth. Caleb wants to learn coding but keeps chasing podcasts. He uses the ladder. Hell yes equals a beginner course that takes 3 hours weekly. Podcasts become low impact, high alignment. He caps them at 1 per week and puts the course first. 6 weeks later he ships a small app and feels proud. Common pitfalls. Vague values. If your values are generic, the filter gets blurry. Define each value with a behavior. Too many top priorities. If everything matters, nothing does. Pick 5 values, not 15. False urgency. People will present their need as an emergency. Ask for the deadline. Most fires are warm coals. Guilt-driven yes. You do not owe effort as penance for existing. Say no when alignment is low. Parking lot that becomes storage. Review maybes weekly. Promote or purge. Negotiating your non-negotiables. If you always bend your rules, they are not rules. Protect them with scripts and calendar blocks. Confusing comfort for alignment. Easy does not always equal aligned. Ask, does this serve my values or is it just avoiding effort? Key takeaways. Your values are the compass for your decisions. The hell yes or no ladder turns instinct into a repeatable filter. The impact alignment matrix helps you spot high leverage work. Non-negotiables and minimum standards shrink gray areas. Scripts make NOS faster and kinder. Consistency beats intensity, so put values on your calendar. Trade-offs are features, not bugs. Saying yes means saying no somewhere else. Action items. Write your top 5 values and define each with a behavior. Add 3 recurring blocks that reflect those behaviors. Plot your next 3 requests on the impact alignment matrix. Use the hell yes or no ladder to tag 5 items on your to-do list. Decide and schedule. Set 3 non-negotiables and 3 minimum standards. Share them with a partner or teammate. Create 3 no scripts and paste them in your notes app. Build a parking lot list. Add maybes. Review every Friday. Reflection questions and exercises. Which value matters most right now and why? What recent yes did not align? How would you decide differently with the filter? What activity is high alignment but low impact? How can you cap it? Practice a no in the mirror, then send a real one today. Chapter conclusion. This chapter gave you a practical filter for deciding what deserves your energy. You named your values, linked them to behaviors, and learned 2 quick frameworks that turn confusion into clarity. You created non-negotiables, minimum standards, and scripts that make boundaries feel less like battles and more like default settings. Most importantly, you moved from reacting to selecting on purpose. In the next chapter, you will turn this filter into a daily attention plan. Attention is currency. You will audit leaks, set caps on inputs, and build focus blocks that honor your values. That way, your calendar and your energy will stop being a tug of war and start being a simple budget that serves what matters most to you. Attention is currency, reclaim your bandwidth. Attention is currency, reclaim your bandwidth. Why attention is your real money. You learned in the last chapter how to filter choices through your values. Now we make those choices visible in your calendar and your brain. Attention is the currency that funds your life. Spend it well and your days compound into something you are proud of. Spend it like confetti and you will feel busy, exhausted, and somehow behind on the stuff that actually matters. Think about it. Every notification is a toll booth. Every pointless meeting taxes your energy. Every piece of digital clutter is a pickpocket. You do not need monk-level minimalism. You do need an attention budget that aligns with your values filter. You are not a victim of your phone or your boss. You are the treasurer of your bandwidth. The bandwidth crisis you are pretending is fine. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You have enough time, you lack clean focus. The problem is not your calendar. It is the 1,000 tiny leaks. You check messages at random. You let fake urgencies set your priorities. You treat your attention like an all-you-can-eat buffet, then wonder why your brain feels overcooked. Multitasking feels efficient. In reality, it is a quality shredder. Research consistently shows that switching tasks reduces speed and increases errors. Worse, the switch task fries your mental energy. Meetings expand to fill the available space. Notifications multiply until your phone sounds like a slot machine. The result is low-depth work, shallow decisions, and agitated evenings. You begin to equate motion with meaning. You are always on, rarely effective. The attention budget method. You do not fix a leaky boat by rowing harder. You fix the leaks. Your values filter from the previous chapter tells you what deserves your yes. The attention budget tells you when and how much attention each yes gets. Here is the framework. Weekly budget. Decide your 3 focus categories that reflect your values. For example, deep work, relationships, health. Assign a clear number of hours to each for the week. Daily focus stack. Stack your day into focus blocks, admin blocks, and recovery blocks. Focus blocks go first. Admin blocks batch the small tasks. Recovery blocks reset your brain. Single tasking sprints. Work in short, protected sprints for one task only. No tabs, no notifications, no split attention. Then take a brief recovery. Bounded availability. Set rules for messages, meetings, and interruptions. Respectful availability builds respect and preserves focus. Digital hygiene. Simplify inputs. Tame notifications. Create a home screen that serves your values. This is behavior design, not willpower. Systems beat thous. As James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Daily focus stack and single tasking sprints. Your daily focus stack is the backbone. Start with 1 to 2 deep focus blocks, ideally when your energy is highest. This is where you place work that requires quality, judgment, and creativity. Make it sacred. Put admin, messages, and meetings later. End with a recovery block that transitions you out of work mode. A single tasking sprint is a compact burst. Choose one task. Set a timer for 25 to 50 minutes based on your attention stamina. Close everything that is not the task. Put your phone in another room or on silent behind you. Work until the timer ends. Then take a 5-minute recovery. Stretch, breathe, sip water, look outside. Repeat for 2 or 3 rounds, then take a longer break. Why this works? Attention compounds. When you reduce inputs, you go deeper. When you go deeper, you produce more value with less time. Speed and quality improve. Single tasking avoids the switch tax. You start faster, stay present, finish sooner. Fatigue drops. Recovery rituals protect focus. Fatigue is a focus killer, not a character flaw. When you treat energy like a budget, you stop pretending you can brute force through empty tanks. Add context shields to your sprints. Use a pre-sprint ritual, write a one-line intention. For example, draft the first section of the proposal. Create a post-sprint ritual, write one line on what progressed and what next step is. These tiny bookends train your brain to enter and exit focus fast. Step by step to reclaim your bandwidth. Follow the sequence to build your attention budget in 1 week. Step 1, audit your leaks. For 2 days, write down every attention switch. Messages, tabs, alerts, interruptions, quick checks, doom scrolling, and meetings. Notice patterns. Identify the top 3 leaks that cost you the most. Step 2, define weekly buckets. Choose 3 focus categories that match your values filter. Assign hours. For example, deep work 12, relationships 6, health 5. Put these blocks into your calendar before anything else. Step 3, build daily focus stacks. For each weekday, schedule 1 to 2 deep focus blocks, 1 admin block, and a recovery block. Protect the first focus block with calendar notes. No messages. No meetings. Put admin after lunch. Put recovery at the end. Step 4, set availability rules. Write the rules. For example, meetings capped at 90 minutes per day. Messages checked at 11 and 4. Response window is within 1 business day for non-urgent items. Share these rules with your team and key people. Step 5, clean your inputs. Turn off non-human notifications. Batch app updates and news to 1 window per day. Move time-wasting apps off your home screen. Put value-aligned apps on the front page. Step 6, practice sprints and recovery. Run 2 sprints in your first focus block. Use the one-line intention. Use the 5-minute recovery. After 3 days, adjust durations based on energy. How real people carve focus in chaos. Case study, the manager with meetings everywhere. Dana leads a small team and her calendar looks like a game of Tetris. She capped meetings at 2 per day per person, moved status updates into a shared document, and created a daily focus block from 9 to 10:30. She checks messages at 11 and 4. In 2 weeks she cleared a major strategy draft that had been stalled for months. Her team respected the new rhythm because Dana communicated availability rules with clear reasons and consistent behavior. Case study, the parent with evening whiplash. Marcus used to grind late. He shifted to morning focus sprints, 2 rounds from 7 to 8. He created a family recovery ritual at 6, 10 minutes of outside time with his kids. His evenings stopped feeling frantic. His work quality improved. He did less reactive email at night and more targeted deep work in the morning. Case study, the freelancer with inputs everywhere. Lena used to chase messages. She built a weekly budget, client projects 15 hours, marketing 5, learning 2. She batched outreach into a single admin block each afternoon and put learning on Friday morning. She used single tasking sprints to produce design concepts faster. Her revenue went up without adding hours because focus beats flailing. Missteps that drain your focus fast. Avoid these common traps. Pretending you can multitask. Splitting attention is not a skill. It is a tax. You pay in errors and time. Chasing fake urgency. If everything is urgent, nothing is. Use your values filter before letting someone else dictate your day. Overscheduling without recovery. Back-to-back blocks guarantee shallow work. Insert breathing space. Protect the edges of your focus. Over-explaining your availability. Set rules with calm clarity. Do not apologize for not being on call. Boundaries create respect. Building systems you will not use. Start small. 1 focus block. 1 recovery ritual. Consistency over complexity. Ignoring energy. Your brain has rhythms. Put deep work where your energy is strongest. Adjust sprints to match real stamina. Key takeaways. Attention is the currency of your life. Spend it on your values. Fewer inputs produce deeper outputs. Trim the noise to boost quality. Single tasking beats multitasking for speed, quality, and sanity. Bounded availability is not rude. It is leadership through clarity. Recovery is part of work. Fatigue is a focus problem, not a moral failure. Behavior design beats willpower. Systems make your values visible. Your values filter sets priorities. Your attention budget makes them real. Consistency creates compounding. Small daily focus stacks build big results. Action items and exercises. Build your weekly attention budget. Choose 3 focus categories and assign hours. Put them on your calendar today. Create 1 daily focus stack. Pick tomorrow. Schedule 1 deep focus block, 1 admin block, and 1 recovery block. Protect the first block with a calendar title that starts with focus. Write your availability rules. Choose caps for meetings and windows for messages. Share them with 1 colleague or friend. Reflection questions. Which top 3 leaks keep stealing my attention, and what is the first one I will fix this week? Where does my energy peak, and how will I place my deepest work there? What fake urgency do I keep responding to, and how will my availability rules change that? Many exercises. Home screen reset. Move distracting apps off the front page. Put your values aligned apps front and center. 1 line intention. Before your next sprint, write a 1-sentence goal. After the sprint, write 1 sentence on progress. 5-minute recovery. Practice a short ritual, breathe for a minute, stretch your shoulders, drink water, look outside. Notice how your focus feels afterward. What comes next? You just turned your values into a schedule that respects your brain. Your attention budget gives you the power to choose what gets your bandwidth and when. This is not about living inside a productivity cult. It is about making your values visible in the hours that add up to your life. The next step is enforcing those choices with clean boundaries, not drama. In the next chapter, we will build boundaries without guilt. You will learn simple language that says no like you mean it, calendar-backed rules that stop schedule creep, and scripts that make your availability respected. Your attention is precious. Guard it with clarity, then grow it with practice. Boundaries without guilt, saying no like you mean it. Boundaries without guilt, saying no like you mean it. Why boundaries make you saner? You cleaned up your attention in the last chapter. Great. Now we take the next obvious step. You cannot protect your attention if you keep giving it away to every random request. Boundaries turn your values into visible choices. They are not walls, they are clarity about what you will and will not do, expressed calmly and consistently. If you have ever said yes, then immediately felt annoyed, you already know why this matters. Saying no is not mean. It is honest. It saves your time, your energy, and your self-respect. In this chapter, you will learn practical language, simple rules, and repeatable routines that make saying no easier than apologizing for the millionth tired yes. The cost of always saying yes. Let's define the problem, because vague discomfort does not change behavior. The problem is not soft-heartedness. The problem is default yes. You say yes because you want to be liked, because you fear conflict, or because it feels faster than thinking. It works until your calendar looks like a clown car, and your actual priorities are waiting outside in the rain. Always yes has a cost. You give away deep work time. You give away rest. You give away focus to other people's priorities. Research on burnout consistently shows that role overload, combined with low control, predicts exhaustion. Every yes reduces your control. Every clear boundary increases it. To live by your values, as we set in the values first filter, you need control of your time. The boundary toolkit lets turn this from theory into a toolkit you can actually use. No sandwich, brief reason, clear no, warm close. Red line rulebook, your non-negotiables, defined in simple rules. Calendar-backed boundaries, time blocks that make your values visible. The no sandwich is the everyday script. It sounds like this. Brief reason, so people understand context. Clear no, so there is no squishy maybe. Warm close, so you stay human. You can use it with bosses, clients, friends, and family. The red line rulebook is your personal playbook. It says, these are the lines I do not cross. For example, no meetings after 4, no weekend work, no unpaid favors that replace professional services, no last-minute requests that break commitments to family. Write them down. Rules beat vibes. Calendar-backed boundaries turn your rules into reality. If it matters, it lives on your calendar. Deep work blocks, gym time, date night, kid time, sleep. If someone asks for a slot that hits a protected block, the answer is, I am not available. Not, I will try. Not, I will squeeze it in. Your calendar becomes a shield and a signal. How the tools work in practice. Let's go deeper with examples. No sandwich in action. Your boss asks, can you take the Friday client call at 6? You say, my work hours end at 4, I cannot take calls after that. I can prepare notes for the morning or handle it Monday. Thanks for understanding. You gave a brief reason, a clear no, and a warm close. No drama. No long explanation. Notice the offer, you proposed aligned options without overcommitting. Red line rulebook example. Your rule says, no extra projects until current priorities are complete. A colleague drops a new initiative on your desk. You reply, I am focused on Project Alpha through Wednesday, I am not adding new work until that delivery. If this is critical, please route it through the team lead so we can adjust priorities. You enforce a line, and you redirect the process. Calendar-backed boundaries example. You have a deep work block from 9 to 11. Someone sends a meeting invite at 9. You respond, I am not available at 9, I can do 11 or 3. If the project is urgent, send me the agenda and I will respond by 11. Your calendar speaks first. If you never schedule focus time, you will always sacrifice it. Here is why this works. People respect clarity. Most requests are negotiable once you remove the fog. You do not need to output a TED Talk. One sentence, one clear no, one warm close. Repeat as needed. This is the calm backbone of boundary confidence. Build your boundary plan. Let's build a plan that you can run every week. Step 1. Write 5 common situations where you cave. For example, late meeting, last minute favor, extra client scope, weekend family errand, friend who invites you to every event. Identify the pattern. Step 2. Draft a no sandwich for each. Keep it under 3 sentences. Use plain words. Avoid explanations longer than a tweet. Step 3. Define 3 red lines for work, 3 for personal life. Make them specific and measurable. Example, no meetings before 9, no email after dinner, no weekend work except emergencies, no responding to texts during family dinner, no lending money without written terms. Step 4. Build calendar-backed boundaries. Block deep work, rest, workouts, date night, and errands. Treat them like meetings. If someone asks you to move them, the default answer is no. You can shift within your values, not outside them. Step 5. Practice in low-stakes situations. Say no to small requests first. You are training your voice to stay steady. Confidence grows with reps, not pep talks. Scripts and case studies. Scripts for the boss. Boss says, can you jump on at 7 tonight? You say, I am offline after 6, I cannot join tonight. I can send a summary now, or we can set a morning slot. Thanks for flexing. Boss says, this is urgent. You say, if this is a true emergency, I can make an exception, otherwise it will get more focused attention in the morning. Please confirm. Scripts for clients. Client says, can you add a quick landing page, it should be simple. You say, that is outside our current scope, I can send an estimate and timeline if you would like to include it. Client says, it will only take an hour. You say, to keep quality high, we follow the agreed scope. If you want to proceed, the estimate will reflect actual work. That language saves projects and sanity. Scripts for friends. Friend says, can you help me move this weekend? You say, I have plans this weekend, so I cannot help with the move. I can send you a list of movers I trust. Friend says, come on, it will be fun. You say, I am keeping my plans, hope the move goes smoothly. Warm, kind, firm. Scripts for family. Family member says, can you come over Sunday morning, we need help with the garage. You say, Sunday morning is family time at home, I am not available. I can stop by next weekend for an hour. If you get the guilt sprinkler, stay steady. Guilt is a signal, not a verdict. It fades when your values lead. Many case study, manager with meeting creep. Maria had meeting creep from 8 to 6, no lunch, no deep work. She set 2 red lines. No meetings before 9, no meetings after 4. She blocked 2-hour focus blocks 3 days a week. She used the no sandwich for every meeting request outside the window. Within 2 weeks, her schedule stabilized, her team adjusted, and her delivery improved. The hidden perk, people started preparing before meetings because they knew rescheduling was unlikely. Many case study, freelancer with scope drift. Jay kept saying yes to small add-ons, then worked nights. He wrote one rule, no extra features without a signed change order. He added a line in his proposals about scope, and created a simple change form. He used a client no sandwich every time. Within a month, he gained 2 evenings a week back, and his clients respected the process because it was consistent. Traps and how to dodge them. You will face pushback. Prepare for it. Here are the common traps and simple counters. Over-explaining, the longer you talk, the sooner you negotiate against yourself. Counter, keep it to 3 sentences. Negotiating against yourself, you say no, then you offer 5 ways to say yes. Counter, propose one aligned option, or none. Apologizing for having a spine, you are not wrong for honoring your values. Counter, replace sorry with thanks. Example, thanks for understanding. Silence panic, you say no, then the other person waits you out. Counter, let silence do the work. Repeat the no if needed. Guilt flood, you feel bad, so you reverse your decision. Counter, use your red line rulebook. Decisions are made in advance, not in guilt fog. When manipulation shows up, name it, and reroute. For example, someone says, everyone else said yes. You reply, I am not available. If this needs coverage, please check the team schedule. Keep emotion out of it. Repeat calmly. Boundaries are maintained by calm repetition, not by lectures. Key takeaways. A short, honest no beats a long, apologetic maybe. Your calendar is your boundary in action, protect it like a meeting with yourself. Guilt is a signal, not a verdict, it fades when your values lead. Pushback is predictable, scripted responses prevent wobbling. Boundaries protect the good by excluding the misaligned. Action steps and exercises. Write 5 scripts, choose 5 common requests you want to decline, then write a no sandwich for each. Practice out loud once a day for a week. Create your red line rulebook, list 3 work red lines and 3 personal red lines. Post them where you will see them daily. Share them with your team or family. Build calendar-backed boundaries, block deep work, rest, workouts, and relationships on your calendar for the next 2 weeks. Treat them as non-negotiable. Practice pushback drills, with a friend, role-play 3 forms of resistance, urgency card, guilt card, silence. Respond with your scripts. Repeat 3 times. Audit 1 week of requests, track every request you receive, then mark each yes or no. Note where you bent a rule. Adjust scripts and blocks accordingly. Reflection questions. Which part of saying no triggers the most discomfort for you, fear of conflict, fear of being disliked, or fear of missing out? Which red line would have the biggest positive impact on your life this month? Where does your calendar not match your values? What block will you add today? In what situation do you habitually over-explain? What 3-sentence script will replace it? How will you measure success with boundaries, fewer evening emails, More sleep, consistent deep work. What comes next? You just built the muscle that protects your time and energy. Boundaries are the gatekeepers that keep your values first filter alive and your attention budget honest. You will still face requests that do not fit. You will still get tempted by flattery or guilt. Now you have scripts and rules to stay steady without turning into a robot. In the next chapter, we tackle the heavy lifting. Some things do not need a boundary, they need an exit. We will cut the dead weight, people, habits, and obligations that tax your soul. You will learn how to quantify the toxicity tax, clean up legacy commitments, and replace self-sabotaging routines with aligned behaviors. Boundaries set the stage. Now we take out the trash. Cut the dead weight, people, habits, and obligations. Chapter 5, Cut the dead weight, people, habits, and obligations. Chapter Introduction. You do not need to carry every backpack life hands you. Some bags have rocks, some have snakes, and some are filled with expired expectations that smell funny. If your energy is a finite budget, then dead weight is the unlisted fee that drains you before breakfast. This chapter is about shedding that weight with a clear plan, less drama, and more respect for the person who has to live your life, you. Building on what you practiced in Boundaries Without Guilt, you already know how to say no without apologizing for existing. Now we apply that clarity to 3 heavy categories: people who drain you, obligations that no longer fit, and habits that sabotage your values. You will learn how to quantify the cost of misaligned relationships, prune stale commitments, and swap out low-value routines for aligned behaviors. No bonfires required. Just smart exits, precise reductions, and clean cut-offs for repeat offenders. The problem: toxicity often hides behind familiarity. The friend you have known since middle school who guilt trips you for not attending every hangout. The obligation you accepted years ago that now lives in your calendar like it pays rent. The habit you repeat because it signals comfort, even though it steals your focus and self-respect. These are not neutral. They tax your time, mood, money, attention, and identity. 2 things make cutting dead weight hard. First, you fear drama. Second, you doubt your right to choose. So you tolerate. Then you resent. Then you distract. Meanwhile, the meter keeps running. The truth is simple. Every yes writes a check, and every check clears from your physical energy, your mental bandwidth, and your future potential. If you do not cost it out, your life becomes a project managed by default. There is a quote worth keeping on your fridge. What you tolerate, you teach. When you allow draining patterns without consequence, you train people, and yourself, to keep repeating them. This chapter helps you break that loop with math, scripts, and a stepwise plan. The solution framework. Meet the 3 tools that will lighten your load this month. Toxicity tax calculator. You will assign a cost to relationships and recurring interactions based on hours, emotional impact, money, and opportunity loss. When you see the annual price tag, your decisions get obvious. Obligation audit. You will inventory every recurring commitment, tag it by source and purpose, then decide which to keep, reduce, or exit. Obligations accumulate by default. Audits remove what no longer fits. Habit swap method. You will replace low-value routines with aligned behaviors using cue, replacement, and identity reinforcement. Habits are identity signals. Changing them updates your story. For exits, you will learn 3 pathways. Graceful exit, polite and final. Boundary-based reduction, narrow the bridge and limit contact. Clean cut-off, decisive action with minimal explanation for repeat offenders. Clarity plus a simple exit plan beats emotional debates. You do not have to burn bridges. You can narrow them. Deep dive. Toxicity tax calculator. List the people and interactions that feel heavy, from that colleague who complains for 30 minutes daily to the group chat that never sleeps. For each, estimate these 4 costs. Time cost. Hours per week. Emotional cost. A rating from 1 to 10 where 1 is neutral and 10 is soul-sucking. Money cost. Direct expenses or indirect costs like rides you pay for or events you attend out of guilt. Opportunity cost. What you miss because of this: workouts skipped, work delayed, restful hobbies ignored. Assign a dollar value to your hour. Use your wage or a personal rate. Then compute an annual cost. Example. You spend 2 hours weekly with a high drama friend. Emotional cost is 8. Your hour is worth $20. That is 2 hours times 52 weeks equals 104 hours, times $20 equals $2,080. Add the emotional multiplier as weight. Emotional 8 times a factor of 10 equals 80 points of stress. Opportunity cost, you skip one weekly workout. That is 52 workouts lost. When you stack these numbers across multiple interactions, you will stop pretending this is small. Obligation audit. Open your calendar and note every recurring item. Weekly meetings, monthly boards, volunteer gigs, social clubs, and family duties. Tag each with source and purpose. Source: volunteered, invited, guilt-induced, legacy. Purpose: aligns with values, aligns with status, aligns with comfort, aligns with nothing. Then rate each on contribution to your life from 0 to 3. 0 means drain. 3 means energize. Ask 3 questions. Does this fit my current season? Would I choose it fresh today? If I had to pay cash for it, would I keep it? Keep the 3s and 2s that align with your values. Reduce the ones with partial benefit. Exit the 0s and the ones that exist because old you said yes. Remember, saying yes to yesterday's default is saying no to today's growth. Habit swap method. Pick one low-value routine that shows up daily. Doom scroll after dinner. Late night snacking. Checking email in bed. Observe the cue, time, location, feeling, and trigger. Define the replacement behavior that earns points with your values. 2-minute stretch and 10 pages of a novel. A glass of water and a short walk. A phone placed outside the bedroom and a real alarm clock. Then add identity reinforcement. Say it out loud when you start. I am the kind of person who protects my attention at night. Track streaks for 2 weeks. Reward yourself with a small treat every 7 consecutive days. Habits are not just actions. They are votes for the type of person you believe you are. When you swap a habit, you change your story in micro units. The cue stays. The routine changes. The reward shifts from cheap dopamine to earned respect. Your brain learns to value alignment over instant comfort. Exit types and scripts. Graceful exit. Use a short message. Appreciate, decline, and leave the door narrowly open for later if you choose. Scripture: thanks for the invite. I am streamlining commitments this season, so I am stepping back. Wishing you all the best with the project. If my schedule opens later, I will reach out. Boundary-based reduction. Limit time and channel. Script: I am available for 20-minute check-ins on Wednesdays between 2 and 4. Text works best. If you need more than that, let me know and we can schedule something next month. Clean cut off. For repeat offenders or unsafe dynamics. Script: I am not able to continue this. I wish you well. There will be no further contact. Block and move on. No debate. No defense. No long goodbye. Implementation strategy. Step 1. Anchor your values. Open your values first, filter from earlier chapters. Pick 3 values that matter right now. Health, family, craft. Write them at the top of a page. Step 2. 1 week awareness. Track heavy interactions, stale obligations, and autopilot habits. Use quick notes. Who, when, how long, how you felt after. Step 3. Run the calculator. For the top 5 drains, compute the annual cost and the stress points. Add opportunity costs. Circle the ones that cross your threshold. That could be over $1,000, or more than 50 stress points, or more than 20 missed workouts. Step 4. Audit obligations. Tag each recurring item. Rate on contribution. Decide keep, reduce, exit. Put dates on the decisions. No vague intentions. Step 5. Choose exits. Pick graceful exit, boundary reduction, or clean cut off. Draft scripts. Practice them aloud. If anyone pushes back, repeat your line. You are not negotiating your values. Step 6. Swap one habit. Start with the easiest first. Define cue and replacement. Add identity reinforcement. Stack a small reward. Track for 2 weeks. Keep it boring and consistent. Step 7. Calendar it. Boundaries become visible when they live on your calendar. Add your exit messages, your check-in slots, your replacement habit time, and your no contact rule for repeat offenders. Real-world application. Case 1, Maria and the Legacy Board Seat. Maria joined a nonprofit board 5 years ago. It looked good on paper. Now it is monthly meetings, endless emails, and no real impact. She ran the obligation audit. Source was legacy, purpose was status, contribution was 1. Toxicity tax showed 60 hours yearly and high irritation. She chose a graceful exit. Script. I appreciate the work and the team. I am simplifying commitments this year, so I need to step down at the end of this quarter. I am happy to help transition. Result. She freed 5 hours monthly and used that time to mentor 2 young designers, which matched her values. Case 2, Dion and the high drama cousin. The cousin calls late, complains often, and invites Dion to solve problems he did not cause. Dion ran the calculator. Time was 3 hours weekly. Emotional cost was 9. Opportunity cost was missed workouts. He chose boundary-based reduction. Script. I am not available for late-night calls. I can chat Wednesdays after work for 20 minutes. If you need more, I suggest a counselor. When the cousin pushed, Dion repeated the line. Result. Calls dropped to twice monthly. Workouts returned. Stress decreased. Case 3, Priya and the doom scroll. Priya scrolls for 60 minutes after dinner. She never feels rested. Habit swap. Q is dishes done. Replacement is 10 minutes stretch and 10 pages of sci-fi. Identity line. I am the kind of person who protects my brain. She set her phone in another room and placed the book on the counter. Result. Within 2 weeks, she slept better and felt proud. She did not fix her whole life. She changed 1 hour. That is how freedom grows. Common pitfalls. Saying you will reduce without a specific boundary. Vague limits become vague regrets. Put numbers and times on your reduction. Over-explaining. Long essays invite debate. Keep scripts short. Appreciate, decline, and close. Managing other people's feelings. You can be kind. You are not responsible for reactions. Repeat your line and exit. Cutting everything at once. Big sudden changes can trigger backlash and fear. Start with 1 relationship, 1 obligation, 1 habit. Ignoring your role. If you keep rescuing people or performing to earn approval, you are part of the cycle. Admit it with compassion. Then change the behavior. Revenge exits. Do not use cuts to punish. Use them to align. Your goal is not a grand gesture. It is a lighter life. Key takeaways. Dead weight taxes your time, mood, money, and identity. It is not neutral. Familiarity often masks toxicity. Cost it out and patterns become obvious. You can exit gracefully, reduce with boundaries, or cut off repeat offenders. Obligations accumulate by default. Audits remove what no longer fits. Habits are votes for your identity. Swap low-value routines for aligned actions. Short scripts work better than emotional debates. Appreciate, decline, and close. You are part of the system you tolerate. Change your role to change the results. Calendar-backed decisions make boundaries visible and enforceable. Action items. Run the toxicity tax calculator. List 5 heavy interactions. Estimate time per week, emotional cost from 1 to 10, money, and opportunity loss. Compute annual cost. Circle 2 to address this month. Do an obligation audit. Pull your calendar. Tag recurring items by source and purpose. Rate contribution from 0 to 3. Decide keep, reduce, exit. Write the exit dates. Draft exit scripts. Write 1 graceful exit, 1 boundary reduction, and 1 clean cut-off script. Practice aloud. If someone pushes, repeat and end. Implement 1 habit swap. Choose 1 low-value routine. Define the cue and the replacement behavior. Add identity reinforcement. Place visual cues where you need them. Track for 14 days. Role check reflection. Answer these questions: where am I rescuing, performing, or pleasing to avoid discomfort? What fear keeps me saying yes? How would aligned me handle this? Micro exercise, narrow a bridge. Pick 1 relationship to reduce. Limit contact to a specific time window and channel for 2 weeks. Observe how your energy changes. Micro exercise, calendar proof. Block time for your replacement habit and your exit messages. If it is not on your calendar, it is imagination. Debrief. After 2 weeks, write down 3 benefits you felt and 1 pushback you handled. Celebrate 1 small win. Chapter conclusion. Cutting dead weight is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming precise. When you quantify the cost, align with your values, and choose exits with respect, you stop performing for approval and start living for meaning. It feels lighter, not because life gets easy, but because you stop carrying what is not yours. You will make mistakes while you practice. Someone will take it personally. You will wobble and go back to the old routine once or twice. In the next chapter, Fail Better, you will learn how to make peace with setbacks and limitations, turn stumbles into upgrades, and keep momentum without beating yourself up. Your new life will not be perfect. It will be honest. And that is the point. Fail Better, Making Peace with Setbacks and Limitations. Chapter 6, Fail Better, Making Peace with Setbacks and Limitations. Chapter Introduction. You have cut the dead weight, said no like you meant it, and reclaimed your attention. Now comes the part most people skip, the part that separates the quietly powerful from the forever frantic. You need a better way to handle the face plants. Not a motivational poster. A system. This chapter is about turning missteps into momentum. You will learn to treat failure like a lab report, not a life sentence. You will work with your limits instead of arguing with reality. You will leave with 3 practical tools: the failure debrief canvas, the growth loop, and a constraints charter, to make sure every setback pays you interest. The problem. When something goes wrong, most of us grab 3 unhelpful tools: shame, denial, and distraction. Shame says your mistake means you are a mistake. Denial says it never happened. Distraction says quick, scroll. Meanwhile, your brain learns nothing, your confidence erodes, and your next attempt looks suspiciously like the last one. Perfection culture feeds the problem. We idolize highlight reels and hide the messy drafts. We set fragile goals that only work if the stars align. Then, when reality shows up, we spiral. The result is all or nothing thinking. Either I smash it or I am trash. You quit early or grind blindly and call it resilience. Neither helps. There is another hidden trap. Treating limits like enemies. You have finite time, money, energy, and attention. You have skills you do not yet possess and contexts you cannot control. Pretending otherwise guarantees burnout and sloppy decisions. Hating your limits does not remove them. Designing with them does. The solution framework. The fix is simple, not easy. You need structure without drama. Compassion without excuses. Learning without self-shaming. Here are the 3 tools you will use. The failure debrief canvas. A short, repeatable process to extract lessons from any stumble. It breaks the moment into 5 parts: facts, feelings, factors, findings, and fixes. The growth loop. A tiny cycle that replaces high-pressure grand plans with frequent, low-risk iterations. Plan, test, learn, adjust, repeat. The constraints charter. A clear statement of your current limits and non-negotiables. You use it to design smarter goals and to protect your future self from wishful thinking. Deep dive. The failure debrief canvas. When you mess up, you do not need a novel. You need clarity. The canvas is a 10-minute debrief that prevents rumination and finger-pointing. Use it for rejections, missed targets, awkward conversations, and public flop moments. Facts. Write what happened without adjectives. Example: sent the proposal on Monday. Client declined on Thursday with feedback about unclear pricing. Feelings. Name what you felt. You are allowed to be human. Example: embarrassed, annoyed, anxious. Factors. List contributing elements. Separate controllable from uncontrollable. Example: pricing table was crowded, timeline was tight, client was merging with another firm. Findings. Extract 3 insights. Keep them specific. Example: my pricing sections need 1 page, I need an upfront clarity call about decision criteria, my timeline buffers are too thin during end of quarter. Fixes. List next actions. Example: Create a one-page pricing template by Friday, add a 5-question clarity call script, block 20% time buffer for proposals during busy weeks. Notice the tone. No self-insults. No heroic excuses. Just cause and effect, then correction. You did not erase the feelings. You parked them, learned, and moved. The growth loop. Big audacious goals are inspiring. They are also fragile. Small repeatable cycles turn learning into a habit. The growth loop has 4 beats. Plan. Define a tiny experiment. Keep scope small and clear. Test run it in the real world. Collect simple data. Learn. Compare outcome to expectation. Note what surprised you. Adjust. Change one variable. Repeat weekly until you hit traction. Example. You want to build a workout habit. Plan, 3 15-minute sessions this week, 2 body weight moves, plus a walk test, do it and record mood and completion. Learn, Monday and Friday worked, Wednesday failed due to late meeting, morning sessions feel better. Adjust, move the midweek session to lunchtime, keep duration at 15 minutes for 2 more weeks. Micro improvements stick because they respect the fact that life happens. You are training your identity to be the kind of person who shows up consistently, not a one-time wonder. The Constraints Charter. Constraints are not shackles. They are guardrails. While the growth loop handles your process, the Constraints Charter sets the environment. It answers, what are my current limits and how do I design inside them? Categories to consider. Time. Weekly hours available. Include family, work, and rest. Energy. When you are sharp, when you are toast. Money. Budget, cash flow, and tolerance for risk. Skill. What you can do now, what needs training. Context. External realities, seasonality, policies, other people. Non-negotiables. Values, health, and relationships you will not sacrifice. Example. You want to start a side business. Your charter might say, I have 5 hours a week, most energy in mornings, a budget of $200 a month, beginner level marketing skills, full-time job with no side business restrictions, family dinner is sacred. Design decisions fall out naturally. You pick a business model that works with consistent small blocks, not one that demands daily customer support at night. You choose low-cost experiments. You agree on a 90-day runway and review. Identity-safe accountability. You will improve faster when you separate who you are from what happened. The moment you fuse them, your brain becomes defensive and learning shuts down. The mantra is simple. I made an error. I am not an error. Pair that with compassionate candor. You tell the truth without beating yourself up. You own your part without owning what is not yours. You name exactly what you will do next. Try these scripts. To a client or boss. I missed the delivery by 1 day. I underestimated review time during billing week. I have changed my template to include a 20% buffer and a milestone review. You will have the updated delivery by noon today. To a team. The rollout confused customers. My instructions mixed 2 offers. We will send a clear correction with a single call to action by 4 p.m. I will run a 5-minute pre-flight check before future launches. To yourself. I avoided that hard conversation. I was worried I would look incompetent. Next time I will book it in the calendar within 24 hours and use the 3-point prep sheet. Self-compassion is not a free pass. It is a steadying breath that keeps you in the game. Implementation strategy. Here is how to apply the framework this week. Pick a fresh failure. Choose something from the last 30 days that still stings. Keep it specific. Run the failure debrief canvas. Spend 10 minutes on facts, feelings, factors, findings, and fixes. No poetry. No self-name calling. Draft your constraints charter. List your current time, energy, money, skill, context, and non-negotiables related to this area. Be honest. If you are tired by 8 p.m., stop scheduling deep work at 9. Build a simple growth loop. Choose one tiny experiment for the next 7 days. Define how you will measure success. Keep the bar low and clear. Schedule 2 micro reviews. Put 10-minute learn and adjust sessions on your calendar. Midweek and end of week. Craft an accountability message. If your failure affected others, use one of the scripts to own it and outline your fix. Send it within 24 hours. Protect your environment. Remove one friction and one temptation. Lay out shoes for morning workouts. Delete the app that eats your evenings. Track wins and lessons. At the end of the week, list 3 useful things you learned and 1 small win. Train your brain to notice progress. Real-world application. Case 1. The missed forecast. Rina, a manager, promised a 15% sales bump. The team hit 7%. Rina ran the canvas. Facts: forecast missed by half. Feelings: disappointed and tense. Factors: 2 reps were new, a competitor launched a discount, promotion started late. Findings: onboarding needs a checklist, competitive monitoring is ad hoc, promotion timelines are unrealistic. Fixes: create a 2-week onboarding sprint, assign market watch to 1 rep each week, move promotion drafts 2 weeks earlier. Rina sent a 2-paragraph note to her boss. Clear, specific, and calm. The next quarter they hit 12%. Not because she worked harder, but because she iterated smarter. Case 2. The failed exam. Arjun failed a certification by 2 points. Old Arjun would have sulked and rebooked in a panic. New Arjun built a constraints charter. He had 6 weeks, 90 minutes each weekday, and brain fog after 9 p.m. He switched to morning study sessions, used a growth loop with weekly practice tests, and set a non-negotiable, no new modules after week 4. He ran a weekly canvas, identified weak topics early, and adjusted. He passed with room to spare. Case 3. The public flop. Maya posted a new product and got crickets. Instead of shame deleting, she ran the canvas. Facts: 4 likes, 0 sales. Feelings: humiliated. Factors: no audience warming, unclear headline, posted on a holiday. Findings: audience needs problem awareness content before offers, headline must state value in 1 sentence, schedule matters. Fixes: 3 value posts next week, rewrite headline using a clear benefit, test Tuesday at noon. She repeated the growth loop for 4 weeks and made her first 5 sales. Not flashy, but real. Common pitfalls. Treating debriefs like trials. If your canvas turns into a blame hearing, you will avoid it next time. Keep it neutral. Use simple language. Making the loop too big. If your test takes a month, it is not a loop. Shrink the experiment until you can complete it within a week. Ignoring feelings. Trying to think your way out while your body is in fight mode does not work. Name the feeling. It loses power and you get access to your brain again. Arguing with limits. The charter is not a wish list. It is reality. If you only have 2 hours, design for 2 hours. Pride does not create time. Overcomplicating data. You do not need a dashboard. 1 metric per experiment is plenty. Waiting for perfect timing. There is no clean runway. Start with what you have, then iterate. Silent accountability. If others were affected, say something. Invisible remorse does not build trust. Key takeaways. Failure is data with feelings attached. Remove the shame, add structure, and you learn faster. The failure debrief canvas turns messy moments into specific upgrades. The growth loop favors weekly progress over heroic sprints. Iterate until it works. A constraints charter prevents fantasy planning. Design within your real limits. Identity-safe accountability lets you own mistakes without attacking yourself. Resilience is built in the debrief, not in the highlight reel. Action items. Do a 10-minute debrief. Pick 1 fresh failure and run the canvas. Write facts, feelings, factors, findings, and fixes. Draft your constraints charter. For 1 goal, list your time, energy, money, skill, context, and non-negotiables. Build 1 growth loop. Choose a 7-day experiment with 1 success metric. Put learn and adjust sessions on your calendar. Send 1 accountability message. If you owe someone an update, own it and outline your fix today. Remove 1 friction. Delete 1 distraction or set up 1 helpful cue that supports your next experiment. Reflection questions. When I fail, what story do I tell about myself, and who gave me that story in the first place? Which part of the canvas is hardest for me, facts, feelings, factors, findings, or fixes, and what does that reveal? What limit am I fighting that I could accept and design around? Where can I shrink my experiment so I can learn faster this week? What would accountability look like if I spoke with calm authority instead of apology or defensiveness? Exercises. The 3 wins post-mortem. After your next small attempt, even if it fails, list 3 things that went right. Train your brain to see useful signals inside messy outcomes. The 1-line lesson. Write a single sentence that captures what your last failure taught you. Put it on a sticky note where you plan. The 5-question clarity call. Before your next proposal or pitch, ask, what does success look like, who decides, what timeline matters, what constraints exist, what will make this a no. Reduce surprises before they grow teeth. The buffer builder. Add a 20% time buffer to one project this week. Notice how much calmer and more accurate your work becomes. The identity declaration. Write, I made an error. I am not an error. Say it out loud after your next stumble. Notice the difference in your willingness to try again. Chapter conclusion. You do not need to fear failure. You need to organize it. With the failure debrief canvas, the growth loop, and a constraints charter, you now have a simple way to turn setbacks into upgrades. You are not pretending you have no limits. You are using them like a savvy designer uses materials, to build something that lasts. Building on what you did in Cut the Dead Weight, you have cleared space. Now you have learned how to improve without spiraling when you trip. In the next chapter, Real Resilience, Stress, Uncertainty, and Emotional Flexibility, you will learn how to stabilize in the middle of storms, respond instead of react, and recover quickly without pretending to be made of steel. The goal is not to dodge discomfort, it is to move through it while staying aligned with your values and goals. Real Resilience, Stress, Uncertainty, and Emotional Flexibility. Chapter Introduction. You do not need to be unbreakable to be resilient. The goal is not to become some stoic robot who never feels anything, it is to recover faster, choose better, and keep moving toward what matters when life smacks you in the face. In this chapter you will learn compact, practical tools to manage stress, shrink uncertainty, and flex your emotional muscles so you can respond without freaking out. Building on what you learned in Fail Better about separating identity from outcomes, we now focus on what happens in the messy, urgent moment. You will get a simple decision protocol to stop automatic reactions, a short recovery routine you can run in 10 minutes, a method for planning realistic backups, and quick breath and body techniques to steady yourself in minutes. By the end you will have daily resilience anchors and a plan B, plan C, plan D for your most important goal. The problem. Stress and uncertainty do not feel like intellectual problems, they feel like survival threats. When you are flooded, your brain narrows attention, you make worse decisions, and small problems loom large. Reactivity shows up as snapping at someone, panicking over a tiny setback, or avoiding crucial conversations. Over time, this pattern eats your energy, trust, and momentum. This chapter addresses the gap between accepting failure as useful, and actually handling the messy moments without spiraling. You might accept that setbacks teach you something, but when the project blows up or a loved one disappears, acceptance becomes theoretical. The real question is how to pause, name, and choose in the middle of the storm. The solution framework. Resilience is a set of routines, not a personality trait. Use 4 compact tools together for real change. Respond Don't React Protocol, a 4-step pause routine to create choice in pressure. 3R Recovery Routine, a 10-minute sequence you can use anywhere to reset, recharge, and re-engage. Scenario Stacking, a planning technique to shrink uncertainty by mapping likely roadblocks and responses. Emotional Granularity and Embodied Stabilizers, the practice of naming what you feel and using breath and body techniques to reduce intensity quickly. These work together. The protocol stops a runaway reaction, the recovery routine repairs the nervous system, scenario stacking prevents future panic by making contingency plans, and emotional granularity gives you clarity about what is actually happening inside. Deep dive. Respond Don't React Protocol. Use this as your first move in any acute moment. The steps are quick, and you can run them in under 30 seconds. Pause your action. Take a full breath, and stop the immediate behavioral automatic. Saying nothing buys choice. Name the feeling. Say to yourself, I am feeling angry, scared, overwhelmed, or embarrassed. Naming reduces its power. Ground physically. Plant your feet, relax your shoulders, and take 3 even breaths. This moves your brain from survival mode to thinking mode. Choose one small action. Ask, what small next step helps the situation, and what harms it? Pick the helpful one. Emotional granularity, the name it to tame it skill, is powerful because research shows labeling feelings reduces their grip and improves decision making. You are not trying to be cute, you are recalibrating your nervous system. 3R recovery routine. When the heat is up but you still have time to recover, use a 10-minute sequence you can do in a quiet corner, the stairwell, or your car. Reset, 2 minutes, sit or stand, exhale slowly for 5 counts, inhale for 5 counts, repeat 10 breaths. Scan your body quickly from head to toe, relax any tight spots. Recharge, 5 minutes, do a low-level physical movement, such as walking, squats, or progressive muscle relaxation. Engage the vagus nervous system by slowing breathing and gentle movement. Reassess your emotion and label it again. Re-engage, 3 minutes, write 1 sentence about the next action, and 1 sentence about the boundary you will hold. Commit to 1 micro step you can complete in 15 minutes. Scenario stacking. Pick your biggest goal. Identify 3 realistic obstacles that would derail it. For each obstacle, write a short response plan, the earliest sign it is happening, and a recovery time goal. This turns vague fear into specific tasks, and specific tasks shrink anxiety. Embodied stabilizers. 2-minute practices to steady you, box breathing with 4 counts, tapping the collarbone and sternum to stimulate the parasympathetic system, and changing posture to an open chest with shoulders down. Labeling plus physical stabilization is a fast calming combo. Implementation strategy. Step-by-step application. Choose your anchors. Pick 3 daily resilience anchors, small habits that recharge you. Examples include morning breath practice, a midday walk, and an evening 5-minute debrief. Put them on your calendar like meetings. Memorize the protocol. Practice the respond don't react protocol 3 times a day for a week in low stakes situations. Pausing gets easier with repetition. Build your 3R routine. Time the reset recharge re-engage sequence and practice it once a day until it feels automatic. Use the 10-minute version when stressed, use the 5-minute mini when you have less time. Create 1 scenario stack. For your biggest goal, map 3 obstacles and plans. Keep the list visible. Update it monthly. Create Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. For each plan, set a trigger that moves you to the next plan, and a recovery deadline. This prevents binary thinking that success or total failure are the only options. Establish a signal scripture. Write a 2-sentence script to use when you need a pause in conversations, for example, I need a minute to think, I will come back with an answer in 20 minutes. Practice saying it out loud. Log small wins. Keep a 2-week resilience log. Note each time you used the protocol, the recovery routine, or a scenario plan. Tracking builds evidence that you can handle setbacks. Real-world application. Composite example 1. The startup lead Sophia, a product lead, used scenario stacking when a major feature launch started to go off course. She mapped 3 likely breakdowns, including vendor delay, data bugs, and team burnout. When a vendor delay hit, she moved to Plan B, which involved a simplified launch with core features and a communications plan for customers. Because she had a pre-written script for stakeholders, she avoided reactive panic emails and salvaged trust. Composite example 2. The family crisis. Marcus, a father and teacher, used the respond don't react protocol during a loud argument with his partner. He paused, labeled his anger, stepped outside for the 3R recovery routine, and then returned with a clear boundary and a plan to talk after dinner. The argument ended with a practical solution, not a night of cold shoulder and regret. These are composite examples to show application. The common pattern is the same: pause first, plan second, act third. Common pitfalls. Avoid these mistakes. Overplanning without practice. Writing plans helps, only practice makes them useful. Run routines in low-stakes situations first. Using strategy as avoidance. Scenario stacking is not an excuse to obsess about what might go wrong. Keep plans actionable and time-bounded. Expecting instant mastery. Pausing feels unnatural at first. Expect fumbling and reward attempts. Relying only on escape. Big escapes like binging or zoning out feel like recovery, they do not build resilience. Aim for small consistent repairs over dramatic fixes. Neglecting physical needs. Sleep, hydration, and movement are resilience currency, not optional extras. Key takeaways. Pausing creates choice, and choice creates power in messy moments. Name the feeling, because labeling reduces emotional intensity and improves decisions. Small daily recovery beats occasional big escapes, consistency matters more than drama. Preparedness shrinks anxiety, scenario stacking turns unknowns into tasks. Resilience is a routine, build it with tiny daily anchors and repeated practice. Action items. Daily tasks. Practice the respond don't react protocol 3 times today in low stakes situations, and journal the result. Run the 3R recovery routine once, time yourself, and note how long it took to feel calmer. Create one scenario stack for your most important goal, listing 3 obstacles and 1 planned response for each. Write a 2-sentence signal script you can use to buy time in conversations, and rehearse it out loud. Start a 2-week resilience log, record each time you paused, labeled an emotion, or used a plan. Reflection questions. Which emotion tends to hijack you most often, and what name will you give it in the moment? What is your default reaction under stress, and how has it cost you? What is one small boundary you can hold that will protect your energy this week? Chapter conclusion. Resilience is not a destination, it is a set of small decisions and repeated routines that protect your priorities. You have tools to pause in the moment, routines to recover in 10 minutes, and simple planning techniques to reduce future panic. Practice these steps until they feel like muscle memory, not theory. In the next chapter we will turn this stability into forward motion, building daily promises and micro-bravery so you earn confidence and self-respect day by day. Confidence and self-respect, earn it daily. Confidence and self-respect, earn it daily. Chapter Introduction. Confidence is not a personality trait you uncover like a lost hoodie at the back of the closet. It is a balance you build by keeping promises to yourself, day after day, even when no one is watching. You do not need louder affirmations or more likes. You need receipts. When your actions match your intentions, your brain learns to trust you. Trust becomes self-respect. Self-respect becomes quiet confidence. Building on what we covered in Real Resilience, we are shifting from recovery and flexibility to daily integrity. Resilience helps you bounce back when life swings. Confidence helps you step forward on purpose. In this chapter, you will create a promises you keep list, rewrite toxic scripts with a self-talk rewire, and climb a micro-bravery ladder to train discomfort. You will learn posture, presence, and preparation as simple confidence pillars. Most importantly, you will design a 14-day sprint that proves to you, with small wins, that you are someone you can rely on. The problem? Most people try to borrow confidence from external hype. They chase pep talks, approval, and aesthetic upgrades, then wonder why the mirror is still a little shaky. The problem is not motivation. The problem is trust. You cannot respect yourself if you keep ghosting your own commitments. One broken promise becomes a story about who you are. Then negative self-talk piles on. Fear of discomfort makes you avoid the reps that build competence. Meanwhile, your body sends signals, like slumped posture and shallow breathing, that your mind reads as danger. The result is a loop of avoidance, guilt, and shaky self-worth. The solution framework. The Earn It Daily framework is simple and gritty. You build confidence by proving to yourself that you do what you say. 3 core practices anchor it. Promises you keep. Choose a tiny set of realistic commitments that you execute, no excuses. You track them. You protect them. Self-talk rewire. Identify 3 toxic scripts, rewrite them in plain, compassionate language, and rehearse the new lines during stress. Micro-bravery ladder. Pick graded discomfort actions, from micro to moderate, and climb them intentionally, one step at a time. These sit on practical pillars: posture, presence, and preparation. You shape your body into a confident stance, you focus your attention on the task, and you prep to lower uncertainty. Competence through repetition defangs fear. When you stack small wins, your brain updates your identity. I do hard things. That identity makes future promises easier to keep. Deep dive. Promises you keep is your personal integrity engine. Select 3 commitments so small they are boring. You are not auditioning for a superhero movie. You are building trust. For example, you choose to stretch for 2 minutes after coffee, write 1 sentence in a journal before bed, and send 1 honest message every workday. You create a simple tracker. 3 boxes per day. You either did it or you did not. No partial credit. The point is repetition. When your brain sees 15 straight ticks, it starts believing you. Criteria for a good promise: it is specific, time-bound, and within your control. Move for 10 minutes by 4 p.m. beats exercise more. Make them aligned with values from the Values First Filter chapter. If health matters, choose a micro action that supports it. If growth matters, pick a tiny learning step. If relationships matter, choose a daily touch that is authentic, not performative. Self-talk rewire tackles the voice in your head that plays harsh coach. Start by writing down 3 lines you say when you feel insecure. For example, I always mess up presentations, no one wants to hear from me, I am lazy. Now rewrite each in 3 parts. Acknowledge the feeling, insert a realistic counter, and add a cue to act. I feel tense before speaking. I have prepared 2 key points. Breathe for 4 and begin with the first point. The goal is not sugarcoating. It is accurate and actionable. Practice these lines before stress lands, not just during. Repetition teaches your brain new defaults. Micro bravery ladder is graded exposure to discomfort. Think of steps from 1 to 5. Step 1 is tiny and safe. Step 5 is challenging but doable. Pick a domain, like social, physical, or creative. Social ladder example: Step 1, make eye contact and smile at the cashier. Step 2, ask one clarifying question in a meeting. Step 3, share a brief opinion. Step 4, give a short update. Step 5, present for 5 minutes. Each step gets a date. You train discomfort like a muscle. As you complete steps, you teach your nervous system that stress is a sensation you can hold, then act anyway. Confidence grows from measured risks, not reckless leaps. Posture, presence, and preparation are your bonus multipliers. Posture does not mean acting like a peacock. It means neutral spine, chest open, chin level, feet grounded. This physical stance sends a clear message to your brain: you are safe enough to engage. Presence is attention on what you can do now. No spiraling into future disaster. No replaying past embarrassment. Preparation is kindness to future you. Pack the bag the night before, rehearse the opening line, skim the names of attendees, run the checklist. Preparation lowers uncertainty, which lowers anxiety, which raises performance. Competence and repetition are the quiet heroes here. Confidence follows competence. You do a thing enough times, you stop making it a big deal. Fear shrinks when you know the terrain. As one old coach said, the reps will save you. You do not need to believe in yourself before you take action. You take action and belief follows. Implementation strategy. Design a 14-day confidence sprint that proves, in small clear ways, that you keep your word and handle discomfort. Day 1, define 3 values that matter most right now. Write 1 sentence for each. Day 2, draft your promises you keep list. Choose 3 micro actions that align with those values. Create a simple tracker on paper or notes app. Day 3, identify 3 toxic scripts. Write your self-talk rewire lines. Record them in your phone. Practice them out loud. Day 4, build your micro bravery ladder for 1 domain. Set dates for steps 1 through 5 across the next 2 weeks. Day 5, posture and presence rehearsal. Stand, breathe, and deliver your opening line for your step 1. 2 minutes, twice. Day 6, execute step 1 on your ladder. Tick your promises. Note what felt hard. Use your rewired line. Day 7, preparation session. Pack, rehearse, or research for step 2. 10 minutes of prep is enough. Day 8, execute step 2. Tick your promises. Write 1 sentence about the win. Day 9, rest and recalibrate. Keep promises. Practice self-talk lines. Visualize step 3 for 60 seconds. Day 10, execute step 3. Tick your promises. Celebrate with a simple reward, like a walk or a favorite snack. Day 11, preparation session for step 4. Check posture and presence. Run your opening line. Day 12, execute step 4. Tick your promises. Write 2 things you did well. Day 13, review. Look at your tracker. Notice streaks. Adjust step 5 if needed. Day 14, Execute step 5. Tick your promises. Write a short reflection. What did this sprint teach you about trust? Real-world application. Maya felt invisible in meetings. She was competent but quiet, and her brain told her she had nothing to add. She built a ladder. Step 1. Ask a clarifying question. Step 2. Summarize one point. Step 3. Share a brief perspective. Step 4. Own a 2-minute update. Step 5. Present a 5-minute roadmap. She paired this with a promise to review the agenda for 5 minutes daily, and a rewired line, I feel nerves. I have one clear point. Start with the point. In 2 weeks, the team started calling on Maya for insight. Her competence did not change dramatically. Her presence did. Jorge was a new manager who dreaded difficult conversations. He made a promise to walk for 10 minutes before a tough chat to clear his head. He rewired his script, I avoid conflict, to I care about clarity. I can listen and state one request. His ladder moved from sending a direct email to scheduling a brief chat, then covering one tough topic, then two, then conducting a full feedback session. By day 14, he handled a performance dip conversation without drama. His self-respect increased because he kept his word and did the hard thing. Priya wanted to start posting her art but was paralyzed by comparison. Her promises were tiny: sketch for 5 minutes before breakfast, and share one work with a friend every 3 days. Her rewired line, my work is not perfect, became my work is honest. Share one piece. Her ladder stepped from sharing privately to posting in a small group, then posting with a short caption, then entering a local contest, then hosting a mini showcase for friends. Competence through repetition lowered fear. Confidence followed the reps. Common pitfalls. Overloading promises. If you choose 10 commitments, you will break most. Keep 3, and let them be boring. Boring builds streaks. Perfection fishing. If you treat every step as a performance review, you will stall. The ladder is training, not judgment. Vague self-talk. Be positive does nothing under stress. Use clear lines that name the feeling, add a realistic counter, and cue an action. No tracking. If you do not track, your brain forgets wins and remembers stumbles. Track for 2 weeks. You need proof. Relying on hype. Motivational videos are fine, but they are dessert. Preparation is the main course. Ignoring body signals. Posture and breath are tools. If your shoulders are in your ears, take a minute and reset. Skipping recovery. Confidence grows in cycles. Use rest days to protect momentum. Key takeaways. Confidence is earned by keeping small promises consistently. Self-respect is built on receipts, not wishes. Rewrite toxic scripts into accurate, actionable lines. Micro-bravery trains discomfort and updates identity. Posture, presence, and preparation calm the nervous system and improve performance. Competence plus repetition shrinks fear. Tracking turns wins into evidence your brain can trust. A 14-day sprint can reset your relationship with your own word. Action items. Write 3 values for the season of your life. Draft 3 promises you keep. Start today and tick boxes nightly. Identify 3 negative scripts. Record your self-talk, rewire lines and rehearse them twice daily. Build a micro-bravery ladder with 5 steps. Put dates on your calendar. Practice posture and presence for 2 minutes before each ladder step. Prepare for each step with 10 minutes of planning or rehearsal. Use a simple tracker, 3 boxes per day, and count your streak. Reward streaks with small, healthy treats to mark progress. Reflection questions: what did I learn about my trust in myself this week? Where did I avoid discomfort and why? What felt easier by day 10? Which promise needs adjustment? Exercises: run a daily 2-minute confidence stance, chest open, chin level, and 3 calm breaths. Deliver 1 sentence out loud, your opening line for the next task. Schedule an honest check-in with a friend or mentor to share your ladder and ask for support. Chapter conclusion. You do not find confidence. You earn it: 1 boring promise kept, 1 honest sentence spoken, 1 small step into discomfort. This chapter gave you a practical way to build trust with yourself, backed by body cues and preparation. You now have a promises you keep list to anchor integrity, a self-talk rewire to clean up your inner language, and a micro-bravery ladder to train your brain that you can feel the heat and still move. As your streak grows, notice how external approval loses its grip. In the next chapter, Approval Detox, we will sever the last strings of validation addiction. You will learn how to sort feedback, fast from gold stars, and anchor decisions in values rather than applause. For now, protect your streak, celebrate small wins, and remember, confidence is the quiet consequence of self-respect. Keep your word, and your word will keep you. Approval Detox, free yourself from other people's metrics. Approval Detox, free yourself from other people's metrics. Chapter Introduction. You know that itch to check who liked your post, who noticed your effort, who said good job for your basic daily functioning. That itch seems harmless. It is not. It is a tiny leash that clips your attention to someone else's scoreboard. In the last chapter, you build confidence by keeping promises to yourself. Now we cut the cord that keeps your behavior chained to other people's nods. In this chapter, you will run an approval fast, write an authenticity anchor that keeps your choices honest, and use a critic classifier to process feedback without spirals. We will talk social media sanity, comparison traps, and how to decline performative obligations with clear scripts. By the end, your attention will stop chasing gold stars and start serving what matters. Why approval addiction hijacks you. Approval feels like sugar. It hits fast, then leaves you a little emptier. When approval drives behavior, you outsource your agency. You bend to the loudest reaction rather than the clearest value. Your schedule becomes a stage, not a life. Validation is not evil. It is information. The problem is the ratio. If you run on other people's metrics, you forget your own. Psychologists note that unpredictable rewards spike dopamine, which is why likes and praise feel sticky. The more you chase them, the more your brain treats silence like a threat. Suddenly you are editing your voice to match the crowd, saying yes to performances you do not believe in, and measuring progress by applause rather than impact. Approval also rewards surface over substance. It loves dramatic updates and polished moments, not quiet consistency. If your growth is real, it is often boring. Boring does not trend. That is fine. You are building a life, not a personal brand. The Approval Detox Framework. The detox has 3 simple parts. First, an approval fast that clears noise for 7 days. You will set rules for what you ignore, when you check, and how you log cravings. Second, an authenticity anchor that states your values, your why, and your decision principles. It becomes your script for clarity, a short statement you can reference before you say yes or no. Third, a critic classifier that sorts feedback into helpful, neutral, or irrelevant, so your brain does not treat every comment like a verdict. Think of this framework as a reset. You reduce stimuli, anchor identity, then process feedback with calm curiosity. You still see what people think. You just stop letting it drive. Building on the last chapter, where you earned confidence by keeping promises, this chapter helps you protect that confidence from stray opinions. Agency becomes the default setting. How the detox works. The approval fast blocks the main pipelines that feed your addiction. You set specific windows to check messages. You mute notifications that ping your attention for no real reason. You write down urges to seek validation, then ride them like waves without indulging. The point is not to become a monk forever. It is to retrain your reflexes so you can choose feedback deliberately. The authenticity anchor is a 1 or 2 sentence statement that sets your compass. Here is a simple template. I choose what serves my core values, for impact I am proud of, by acting with honesty and courage, even when it costs popularity. You can add specifics. Values could include truth, craft, health, family, service. Impact could include teaching well, building products that help, parenting with presence. Courage could mean speaking up at work, refusing toxic shortcuts, leaving the room when gossip starts. The critic classifier turns messy feedback into categories. Not all critics are equal. A mentor who knows your context deserves more weight than a random stranger. A stakeholder who pays for the project has relevant standards. A peer can offer useful nuance. A troll does not earn your attention. You ask 4 questions for any critique. Does this person know my goals? Do they have skin in the game? Are they qualified to judge this specific thing? Are they speaking in good faith? If 2 or more answers are no, you log it and move on. How to run your approval fast. Set the duration. 7 days is enough for a reset. Mark the start and end dates in your calendar. Define no-check windows. No checking social media, news, or email in the first hour after waking, the last hour before sleep, and during deep work blocks. Use app timers if needed. Mute alerts. Turn off likes, comments, and follower notifications. Keep practical alerts for messages from family or work emergencies. Everything else can wait. Create a craving log. Keep a small notebook. Each time you feel the itch to seek approval, write the time, trigger, and what you wanted to check. Add one sentence about what you did instead. This gives you data, not drama. Replace with anchors. Before major decisions, read your authenticity anchor. Ask, does this serve my values or my ego? Choose accordingly. If you still seek a second opinion, use the critic classifier to pick who to ask. Set feedback windows. Twice a day, scan necessary feedback. For example, morning at 11, afternoon at 4. Classify what you see. Respond only to what is helpful or required. Measure progress by effort and alignment. During the fast, track 3 wins per day that reflect values. Did you finish the hard task rather than posting about it? Did you decline a performative invite that drained you? Did you practice craft for real, without broadcasting it? Practice the pause. When criticism lands, pause for 60 seconds, breathe, and ask a curious question. What is the data behind this? What is the request? What would make it better? Curiosity cuts the sting and finds signal. Scripts and scenarios. Declining performative obligations at work. You get asked to join a high visibility committee that does not serve your role or values. Try this. Thanks for thinking of me. I am focused on delivering X and Y this quarter, which need my full attention. I will pass on the committee. If you want input on Z, I can offer notes next week. Resetting expectations with a manager. Your manager wants more status updates because they like visible progress. You prefer deep work. Try this. To protect focus, I propose brief updates twice a week with clear milestones. That way you see progress, and I can keep momentum. If you need more detail for a deadline, I can add a short check-in. Declining a performative social invite. Your friends plan an event mainly for photos. You would rather have a real hang. Try this. The party looks fun, and I am sitting this one out. I am craving time where we actually talk. Want coffee on Sunday? Navigating family approval. A relative comments on your life choices at dinner. Try this. I hear that you care. I am making decisions based on my values, not consensus. If you want to understand, I am happy to share what matters to me. If not, let's enjoy dinner. Responding to online criticism. A stranger comments on your work with snark. Try this. Thanks for engaging. If you have specific suggestions, I am open to hearing them. Otherwise, I will keep building and testing with my users. Have a good day. What trips people up? Approval detox is simple, not easy. Here is what often derails people. You forget the reason. Without your authenticity anchor, the fast feels like deprivation. Write it, read it, repeat. You replace one metric with another. Some people drop likes, then obsess over productivity numbers or streaks. Watch for the same itch in a new costume. You classify critics with bias. It is tempting to mark tough feedback as irrelevant. Use the questions honestly. Helpful critics often challenge you. You make the fast a humble brag. Announcing your detox for applause defeats the point. Do it quietly. Tell only people who need to know. You treat silence as failure. Fewer notifications often mean you are doing real work. Silence is a feature, not a bug. You never re-enter. After the fast, you either binge or go extreme. Schedule sane re-entry, with boundaries you keep. Key takeaways. Approval is fine as data, not as fuel for your identity. A 7-day fast clears noise and resets your reflexes. Your authenticity anchor makes decisions simpler and calmer. The critic classifier helps you weigh feedback based on context. Progress should be measured by effort and alignment, not applause. Curiosity makes criticism useful and less painful. Social media can serve you when you set windows and mute bait. Boundaries at work and home protect authenticity without drama. Action items. Write your authenticity anchor using this template. I choose X for Y by Z, even when A, fill in specifics and keep it visible. Plan your approval fast start date. Add no check windows and feedback windows to your calendar. Turn off non-essential notifications. Decide which alerts stay on and which get muted. Create a craving log. Use 1 page per day for 7 days. Review patterns at the end. Build your critic classifier list. Mentors, stakeholders, peers, strangers, trolls. Decide who earns weight. Set 3 value-aligned wins per day for the week. Track them without posting. Choose one performative obligation to decline using the scripts. Do it within 2 days. Reflection questions. When do I chase approval most? What value am I protecting when I say no? Whose opinion actually helps me grow? From gold stars to guiding stars. You are not a robot that needs constant charging from outside thumbs. You built daily confidence by keeping promises to yourself. Now you protect that confidence by cutting your dependence on other people's metrics. Approval detox is not about becoming indifferent. It is about choosing whose input you respect, and when, and why. You clear space, anchor identity, then respond with calm curiosity. This chapter is a bridge. The approval fast teaches you to listen inward before you look outward. The anchor points your choices to what matters. The classifier keeps your feedback diet clean. With those pieces in place, you are ready to design a life that is intentionally aligned, not accidentally reactive. In the next chapter, we will translate values into calendars, routines, and reviews. You will craft a North Star statement, block your week around what you care about, and run quarterly resets that keep you honest. It is time to move from detox to design, from gold stars to guiding stars. Design a meaningful, value-driven life. Design a meaningful, value-driven life. Chapter Introduction. You have cut the dead weight, built boundaries without guilt, made peace with failure, and detoxed from approval chasing. Good. Now we put the pieces together into something you can live with daily. This chapter is the dashboard for a calm, honest life. Less panic, more purpose. Less reacting, more choosing. Meaning is not a lightning strike. It is a habit. You will craft a North Star statement, translate your values into weekly calendar blocks, and set up simple reviews that keep you aligned. You will learn how to set fewer goals with clearer constraints, then build rituals that make meaning feel ordinary, not mythical. By the end, you will have a 90-day plan that fits you, not a generic productivity playlist. The problem? Most people chase meaning the same way they chase Wi-Fi at the airport. Frantic, uncertain, clicking everywhere. They keep adding goals, hustling harder, and wondering why life feels crowded but thin. You might know your values in theory, yet your calendar ignores them. Your energy is spent on other people's emergencies, your attention is split, and your time is booked by default. Drifting is not dramatic, it is invisible, which is why it steals years. Building on approval detox, the core problem is misalignment. You say family matters, yet you check email during dinner. You say health matters, yet your mornings start with doom scrolling. You say creativity matters, but you leave zero white space for making. When your lived schedule contradicts your stated values, you feel ungrounded and edgy. Meaning needs structure. The solution framework. Here is the system. Keep it simple, keep it repeatable. Write a North Star statement, one sentence that guides your choices. Translate values into calendar blocks, weekly time slots that reflect what matters. Run a weekly review, a brief check for progress, pruning, and boundary repairs. Run a quarterly reset, a 90-day reflection and realignment. Set fewer goals with clear constraints, 3 max, with defined size and pace. Build daily rituals that embody your values, presence, service, craft, and connection. The frame is small by design. Complexity is a trap. As Aristotle is quoted, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is a habit, not an event. Meaning works the same way. Deep dive. North Star statement. A North Star statement is one sentence that names your direction and your why. It should be plain, punchy, and useful. Not a vision board caption. Think of it as a filter for options. Example formulas. I choose to be a present parent, a curious learner, and a steady teammate, so my time honors family, growth, and integrity. I serve by making clear ideas that help people act, so I invest in writing, teaching, and humane business. Good North Stars avoid vague words and popularity goals. Your statement should feel like a compass, not a flex. Values to calendar blocks. Values are loud when they live on your calendar. Pick the top 3 or 4 values that you kept in your values first filter. Create weekly blocks for each value. Start with default templates, then adjust. Examples: presence, 30-minute device-free morning, and device-free dinner. Service, 1 90-minute slot weekly for mentoring or volunteering. Craft, 3 90-minute focus blocks for deep work on your core skill. Connection, 1 long walk with a friend or partner, and 1 call with family. Use the calendar like a commitment. If you protect dentist appointments, protect these. Color code by value to see your week at a glance. If the calendar does not show the value will not show in your life. Weekly review. The weekly review is a 20 to 40-minute ritual. It keeps alignment alive and prevents boundary creep. Saturday morning or Sunday evening works well. Keep the steps tight. Scan last week. What moved? What stalled? What surprised you? Celebrate 1 win. Confidence and self-respect are earned daily. Prune 1 obligation. Delete, delegate, or deflate. Reset boundaries. Identify 1 place where yes needs to become no. Align next week. Schedule value blocks first, then add everything else. Pick a tiny bold move. 1 phone call, 1 pitch, 1 ask, 1 step. If you skip this, drift returns. If you keep it, your life starts to feel managed by intention, not by noise. Quarterly reset. Every 90 days, run a simple reset. Choose a 2-hour window somewhere quiet. Bring your North Star, your values list, your calendar, and a notebook. The aim is to reflect, refine, and recommit. Review the quarter. What mattered, what did not, what surprised you? Values audit. Does your calendar still match your values? Name gaps. Goal check. Keep, cut, or change goals. Fewer goals win. If you have more than 3, you are hiding. Constraints. Define size and pace. For example, write 3 essays per month, not 1 per day. Boundary audit. Name the places where your no has weakened. Repair it. Ritual refresh. Presence, service, craft, connection. Keep or adjust. Plan the next 90 days. Block value time, book 1 brave action per month, and schedule your next review dates. Constraints are kindness. They simplify choices, reduce anxiety, and make the work real. Fewer goals with clear constraints. You can do many things, you cannot do them all at once. Pick a small set of goals, then define constraints that keep them sane. Examples: health, lift 3 times per week, and walk 60 minutes on 2 other days. Craft, publish 2 articles per month, and practice your core skill 4 hours per week. Connection, meet 1 mentor for coffee each month, and host 1 friend dinner. Constraints give your brain edges. Without edges, the work spills everywhere. Daily rituals that make meaning. Rituals create identity. Identity guides behavior when motivation runs low. Build 2 daily rituals that tie directly to your values. Keep them small. Keep them obvious. Presence. Morning reset, breathe for 2 minutes, write 3 lines about what matters today, then look out a window for 30 seconds. Service. 1 helpful act, send a resource, share a tip, or make an intro. 5 minutes counts. Craft. Deep work block, 90 minutes, phone out of sight, single task, clear finish line. Connection. Micro moment, 3 minutes to send a sincere message, a compliment, or a note of gratitude. Place these at repeat times. Habits love consistency more than intensity. Implementation strategy. Step 1. Write your North Star. Draft 3 options. Read them out loud. Pick one that feels sturdy. Test it against real decisions. If it helps, keep it. If it confuses, edit. Step 2. Choose your values. Pick the top 4. If you pick 8, you pick none. Define what they look like in time. Name actions, not feelings. Step 3. Build the calendar. Create weekly blocks for each value. Place them before everything else. Add buffers. Life is not tidy. Leave room to breathe. Step 4. Set 3 goals with constraints. Make them measurable and small enough that you will not avoid them. Decide pace. Weekly month rate beats vague someday energy. Step 5. Design 2 daily rituals. Choose one morning and one evening ritual. Tie them to existing anchors like coffee or dinner. Step 6. Schedule reviews. Weekly review, put it in the calendar. Quarterly reset, choose a date now, book a location. Real-world application. Case study, Ava the nurse. Ava works rotating shifts. Her values are presence, service, and health. Her North Star is, I care for people with skill and kindness, so I protect my energy and show up fully. She blocks 2 device-free meals per day, a 20-minute walk before night shifts, and one 90-minute craft block for studying patient education techniques. Her weekly review is quick, and she prunes one committee invite she accepted out of guilt. After her first quarterly reset, she sets one connection ritual, send one thank you note to a colleague each week. After 90 days, she reports fewer resentments and more calm. Case study, Marco the designer. Marco wants to stop working for likes. He ran approval detox last chapter and cut his social media metrics by half. His North Star is, I design clear solutions that help people use their tools with confidence. Values are craft, autonomy, and connection. He blocks 3 deep work sessions, 1 meeting-free afternoon, and lunch with a peer every second week. Goals are 2 portfolio pieces per month and 1 pro bono project per quarter. Constraints keep him from drowning in ideas. Meaning shows up as steady progress, not viral moments. Case study, Nia the parent and student. Nia is finishing a degree while raising 2 kids. Her values are family, growth, and stability. She sets evening device-free dinners, morning study sprints, and a Sunday weekly review with her partner. They prune one weekend obligation that was draining, and they set up a quarterly reset date. Nia's daily ritual is a 4-minute gratitude check with the kids before bed. She says it feels small and soft, yet it anchors the whole week. Common pitfalls. Vague North Star. If your sentence reads like a poster, it will not help. Make it practical. Too many goals. More than 3 is self-sabotage. Pick fewer, go deeper. Ignoring rest. A calendar with no buffers breaks. Recovery is part of the plan. Skipping reviews. Alignment fades quickly. Reviews are maintenance, not punishment. Perfection games. Rituals are not performance art. If you miss a day, reset without drama. Boundary creep. Watch for slippery exceptions. If it is not a hell yes, it is probably a no. Key takeaways. Meaning is built in routines, not found in random moments. Your calendar is a mirror. If values are not blocked, they will not happen. Fewer goals with constraints beat crowded lists that do nothing. Weekly reviews prevent drift. Quarterly resets refine your path. Rituals create identity. Identity carries you when motivation is low. Alignment is a practice. Reset often, refine always. Action items. Write your North Star. 1 sentence, then test it this week. Pick 4 values. Define actions for each. Block your calendar. Place value time before meetings and tasks. Set 3 goals. Add clear constraints, then share with a friend. Design 2 daily rituals. Tie them to existing anchors and set alarms. Schedule reviews. Book your weekly review and quarterly reset now. Reflection questions. When did I feel most aligned this past month? What made that possible? Where does my calendar contradict my values? What will I prune? Which goal is quietly stealing energy from the others? What will I cut? What ritual could I keep even on my worst day? Which boundary needs repair this week? What will I say and when? Exercises. Value block audit. Open your calendar and color code 1 week by value. Count the hours. Adjust until each value has at least 1 clear block. Tiny bold move. Pick 1 action that scares you and takes less than 15 minutes, send a pitch or ask for help. Do it before lunch tomorrow. Ritual rehearsal. Practice your morning and evening rituals for 7 days. Note the effect on mood and focus. Quarterly reset prep. Book a 2-hour window in the next 90 days. Write 3 questions you want to answer during that reset. Chapter Conclusion. You have a system now, not just good intentions. Approval Detox cleared the noise, and this chapter installs the architecture that turns your values into time, habits, and progress. You wrote a North Star, built a values-backed calendar, set fewer goals with smart constraints, and designed rituals that make meaning daily. Nothing here requires perfect discipline or infinite energy. It requires honesty and small consistency. People who live aligned lives do not sprint toward purpose, they walk toward it, one clear week at a time. Use your reviews, honor your boundaries, and keep pruning. When life changes, your system can change without drama. Alignment is not a finish line, it is a practice. Reset often, refine always. Now, choose your tiny bold move for today and take it. Your next 90 days just got real. Conclusion. A salute to the new you. You made it. You stayed with this book, you did the work, you laughed at some unflattering truths, and you learned to stop handing out your attention like free samples at a warehouse store. You moved through hard questions and sharper choices, not because life suddenly got easier, but because you got clearer. If you were waiting for a sign that you are ready for a simpler, saner, more intentional way of living, this is it. You trained your brain to stop caring about everything, and to start caring deeply about a few essential things. That is not small. That is a full reset on how you live. Here is the thing most people never learn. You were never supposed to please everyone or answer every ping. You were supposed to decide what actually matters, then give that your best. You made peace with letting the rest go, not in a cold, checked out way, but with purpose. You learned to replace noisy guilt with grounded priorities. You started spending your energy like it is a precious budget, because it is. That is why your calendar now looks like your values instead of your fears. That is why your no lands clean, and your yes carries weight. You earned this confidence. You did not stumble into it. The shift you chose. You began this journey with attention leaks and approval hangovers. You ended with a lean list of values, tighter boundaries, and a calmer mind. You started with reflexive yes, and you learned to ask, does this serve my North Star, or is this just habit dressed as obligation? You recognized that caring less does not mean caring about nothing. It means caring with precision, and that freedom shows up all over your days now. You shifted from trying to win every social scorecard to setting criteria that you own. You removed some dead weight, and you are lighter for it. You made room for deeper work and real rest. You turned failures into feedback loops. You build resilience routines that make you steadier in storms. You are learning to keep promises to yourself, and your self-respect is rising because of it. You stopped letting anonymous criticism run your choices. You started running your own metrics. You can feel the difference. Mornings no longer begin with panic and scrolling. They begin with a quick check on your values and your focus stack. Your conversations are more honest, and your energy no longer splinters into 1,000 small obligations. You learn to say no without a 3-paragraph apology. You exit drama faster. You own your limits without shame, then you design around them. This is not just mindset. This is mechanics. You installed system after system that protects what you say matters. That is the transformation, and it is worth celebrating. What you now know for real. You built a values-first filter that selects what earns your attention. You ranked your top values and translated them into daily behaviors, then you used simple tools to pressure test decisions. The hell yes or no ladder showed you that lukewarm is a signal to decline. The impact alignment matrix helped you spot where high value meets high alignment, so your effort goes where it returns the most meaning. You discovered that when your values are clear, most decisions answer themselves. You learned that attention is the currency of your life. You ran an attention budget to expose leaks and replacements. You designed a daily focus stack so your best hours host your best work. Single tasking sprints showed you how to finish in less time with less stress, because doing one thing at a time is not old-fashioned, it is intelligent. You set availability rules and recovery rituals, which means people now get your best presents, not your rushed leftovers. You mastered boundaries without guilt. You practiced the no sandwich, which blended a brief honest reason, a clear decision, and a warm close. The red line rulebook clarified what you will and will not do, so you stop renegotiating your standards on the spot. Calendar-backed boundaries turn talk into time, because if it is not scheduled, it does not happen. You learned that pushback is normal, and that calm repetition beats defensiveness. You cut the dead weight. The toxicity tax calculator made the cost of misaligned relationships visible. The obligation audit helped you retire commitments that no longer fit. Habit swap mechanics let you replace autopilot routines with actions that match your story now. You stepped away without drama, or you narrowed access, or you made clean exits when it was needed. You stopped trying to be everything to everyone, and you became more to the ones who matter. You reframed failure. The failure debrief canvas turned stumbles into specific lessons. The growth loop taught you to iterate, not idolize perfection. The constraints charter gave you permission to plan with reality in mind, which means you stopped setting yourself up to fail. You separated your identity from your outcomes, so you can try bold things without tying your worth to the scoreboard. You built real resilience. The respond do not react protocol installed a pause that creates choice. The 3R recovery routine helped you reset your body and mind in minutes, then return with intention. Scenario stacking made you ready for roadblocks, which shrank anxiety and boosted calm. You learned emotional granularity, so you can name what you feel and navigate it, instead of getting dragged by vague dread. You earned confidence and self-respect by keeping promises to yourself. The promises you keep list put small wins on repeat. The self-talk rewire replaced cruel scripts with trained honesty. The micro-bravery ladder pushed you into manageable discomfort, and every step taught your brain that you can handle more than you thought. You saw how competence and preparation build quiet pride. You detoxed from approval. An approval fast broke the reflex to check every mirror and every metric you do not control. Your authenticity anchor reminded you who you are and what you stand for. The critic classifier let you sort feedback with curiosity instead of fear. You shrank the grip of comparison and reshod your progress to your values. Finally, you designed a meaningful life with a North Star statement that points you forward. You translated values into calendar blocks that protect work, relationships, health, and rest. You built a weekly review that keeps you aligned, and a quarterly reset that corrects drift. You picked fewer goals with cleaner constraints, and you started living the ritual of meaning every day, not just chasing a climax moment that never arrives. This is a system, and you now have it. How to put it all into motion. Knowledge without motion becomes another shiny idea. You are ready to live this. Here is a clear path that takes what you learned and anchors it in your days. First, set your cadence. Daily, run a 3-minute alignment check. Read your North Star, scan your values, and pick a top one for today. Open your calendar and confirm that one block serves that value. If not, adjust. Daily, stack your focus. Define your one primary task, one supporting task, and one maintenance task. Protect the primary task with a single tasking sprint. Close browsers. Phone out of reach. Timer on. Daily, keep 2 promises to yourself. One for health or recovery, and one for your craft or growth. Keep them small and non-negotiable. Your confidence rides on these wins. Daily, pause before you respond. Use the respond do not react protocol. Breathe, label the emotion, name the desired outcome, then reply or decide. 10 seconds now saves hours later. Daily, log one tiny debrief. What worked, what did not, and what is one tweak for tomorrow. Keep it to 3 lines. The growth loop needs reps, not essays. Second, set your weekly rhythm. Weekly, run the values to calendar review. Look at the last 7 days and the next 7 days. Does your time match your top values? Cut one misaligned thing. Add one aligned block. Move one item to protect deep work. Weekly, reassess boundaries. Where did guilt try to pull you into yes? Write and practice one new boundary script. Add it to your boundary script builder and rehearse it once. Weekly, clean your inputs. Do an approval fast refresh. Unfollow one noisy account. Mute one chat thread. Batch your messages into 2 windows per day for the next week. Weekly, prune obligations. Use a quick obligation audit. What commitment is stale? Decide whether to exit, reduce, or redefine. Send the message. Make it short and kind. Weekly, plan for friction. Build a simple scenario stack for your biggest goal this week. If meetings swell, then shorten your primary task. If you feel low energy, then run a quick 3R routine. If someone pushes your boundary, then repeat your script and offer the next available option. Third, set your monthly and quarterly reset. Monthly, Run a mini failure debrief on one area that lagged. Capture 3 lessons, 1 constraint to respect, and 1 change for the next month. Monthly, measure your toxicity tax. Is there a person or pattern draining you? Reduce access by 1 level, or plan a clean conversation with your red line rulebook handy. Quarterly, revisit your North Star. Does it still feel true? Edit a sentence if needed. Update your top values list and rewrite your non-negotiables. Reset your attention budget for the season ahead. When the road gets bumpy, you will get tested. The old you who wanted to please everyone will try to stage a comeback during a family event or a work fire drill. Friends might send you guilt-loaded invitations. You will hear the whisper that says, "Do not make a big deal, just say yes." This is where you remember that guilt is a signal, not a verdict. Let it pass through. Anchor to your values, use your script, and hold your line. People adapt. So do you. You will mess up. You will overbook, cave in, or doom scroll. You will chase a shiny opportunity and realize that it was just glitter on a distraction. Good. You have tools. Run a tiny debrief and adjust. Your worth is not in the mistake, it is in the recovery. Put your respond do not react pause between the trigger and your next move. Run the 3R routine for 10 minutes. Then take the smallest aligned action possible. Momentum comes back faster than you think. You will face real constraints. Maybe your job is chaotic, or your kids are sick, or your energy dips. Remember your constraints charter. Design within reality. Shrink scope, not standards. Keep your daily promises tiny and consistent. Ask for help when you need it. You are not weak for planning with truth. You are wise. You will hear critics. Some will be helpful, some will be noise. Use your critic classifier. Thank useful feedback. Ignore irrelevant commentary. Hold your authenticity anchor in sight. Your aim is not applause. Your aim is alignment. Proof it works in real life. Alex was drowning in meetings and sprinting through evenings to catch up. He ran a 2-week attention budget and realized his mornings were Swiss cheese. He set a rule that his first 90 minutes were for the primary task only. He used single tasking sprints with a real timer and closed all chat windows. Then he moved a standing meeting to the afternoon and protected 2 deep work blocks per week with calendar-backed boundaries. In 3 weeks, his output improved, his stress dropped, and his team started respecting his new cadence because he had results to show. Maya kept saying yes to a friend who turned every catch-up into a complaint marathon. After using the toxicity tax calculator, she saw the cost in her energy and mood. She decided to narrow the bridge. She shifted to shorter planned calls instead of late-night drop-ins. She sent a kind note that framed her own goals and time limits, then held the boundary when pushback came. She replaced those hours with a weekly long walk that served her health value. Their connection improved with structure, and Maya got her evenings back. Jordan lived on the high of likes and praise at work. He ran an approval fast for 7 days. He told 3 key people that he was experimenting with fewer status updates and more finished work. He wrote an authenticity anchor that named his value for craft, service, and family. He checked it each morning along with his North Star. He used the critic classifier to separate his manager's constructive feedback from random comments. After a month, he noticed more calm and fewer swings in mood. His work quality improved, and he felt proud of how he spent his time. Priya feared asking for opportunities. She built a micro-bravery ladder. Day 1, she asked 1 clarifying question in a meeting. Day 3, she pitched 1 idea to her lead. Day 7, she asked for a stretch assignment with a short case for the value it would bring. She kept the promises you keep list to maintain momentum. The repetition rewired her self-image from quiet observer to thoughtful contributor. Her self-respect rose with each honest risk. Sam botched a launch and wanted to hide. He used the failure debrief canvas that night. He separated controllable factors from context, wrote 3 lessons, and updated his process. He sent a clear, calm note to stakeholders that owned the miss and outlined the fix. Then he ran the growth loop by piloting the new process on a small project. He kept his identity stable. He did not spiral. The next release landed smoothly, and his team trusted him more, not less. None of these people had perfect conditions. They had the same chaos you have. They succeeded because they used small, durable tools and kept going when it got awkward. You can do the same. What to do today? Clarity fades if you do not move. Use the next hour to anchor this in your real life. Open your calendar. Schedule 2 deep work blocks in the next 7 days. Name them by the value they serve. Protect them with a boundary script you will use if someone asks to take that time. Write your top 3 values on a sticky note. Place it where you start your day. Read it each morning for the next 2 weeks. Draft one no sandwich for the next common request you anticipate. Practice it out loud once. You will thank yourself when the moment arrives. Run a 10-minute obligation audit. Name one commitment that no longer fits. Decide whether to exit, reduce, or redefine. Send the message today. Create a promises you keep list with 2 small daily commitments. One for health, one for craft. Put them on your calendar for the next 7 days. Do a quick approval fast plan. Decide where you will stop checking for 7 days. Remove one app from your home screen. Tell one person that you are limiting updates this week to protect focus. Write a 1-sentence North Star. Tape it to your laptop or mirror. Check it before saying yes to anything new. If you want extra support, print the No BS Decision Filter checklist, fill out the boundary script builder for your most common situations, and run the Values to Calendar weekly planning guide for next week. These tools are not decoration. They are levers that keep your attention locked on what counts. Carry this with you. Here is the heart of it. Life will keep throwing shiny distractions and sticky guilt at you. Your job is not to wrestle every distraction or to argue with every critic. Your job is to choose. You already proved that you can. You built a filter, a budget for attention, a script for boundaries, a plan for setbacks, and a routine for resilience. You learned that self-respect comes from kept promises, and that meaning grows from repeated actions, not magical moments. You will not always feel confident. That is fine. You do not need constant confidence. You need integrity with yourself. Keep your promises on small days, and big days will take care of themselves. When you fall forward with a debrief, a reset, and one aligned step. When fear pops up, call it by name, then climb the next rung on your micro-bravery ladder. When you crave validation, breathe, read your authenticity anchor, and choose the action that serves your values rather than your image. Your life is not a performance. It is a craft. Craft is built in quiet mornings and honest conversations, in strategic NOS and generous yes that fit your mission. Craft demands limits and rhythms. Craft rewards patience and presence. The world will not suddenly slow down, and people will not stop asking for things. You do not need them to. You have a system and a spine. So, walk out of this chapter with a simple promise. Spend your limited FKS wisely. Give them to your health, to your people, to your craft, to service, to rest. Give them to the long game. Let the rest find another host. You do not owe your bandwidth to noise. You owe it to what matters. In 6 months, if you keep at this, your days will look different. Your calendar will show fewer but better commitments. Your phone will be less of a boss. Your work will go deeper. Your relationships will be more honest. Your self-talk will be kinder. Your energy will feel more steady. The background hum of anxiety will dim, not because life got simpler, but because you did. Here is your final nudge. Choose one thing from the list above and do it now. Not after one more article. Not after one more scroll. Now. Momentum respects action. Then choose the next thing tomorrow. Build a week. Build a month. Build a new normal. You were not born to carry every worry or to solve every problem. You were born to live a life that matches your values, to make a dent where you stand, to love a few people well, and to take good care of the body and mind that carry you. That is enough. It is more than enough. Close this book, open your calendar, and move one block. Send one message. Write one boundary. Keep one promise. The rest of your life is a compounding return on these choices. Let it grow. Give fewer, better dams. Live more. The No BS Decision Filter Checklist. The No BS Decision Filter Checklist, overview a fast, practical filter for choosing what gets your time, energy, and attention. Use it before you say yes to meetings, projects, invites, favors, commitments, and shiny distractions. It blends gut checks with value alignment, so you stop caring about noise and double down on what matters. Purpose and benefits. Cut decision fatigue and overthinking. Protect attention from time traps and drama. Align choices with core values, not guilt or fear. Build confidence by saying clear yes or no. Create consistent boundaries without feeling like a jerk. How to use. Keep this checklist visible on your phone or desk. Before accepting anything, run the pre-flight checklist. If still unsure, climb the hell yes or no ladder. For big decisions, complete the impact alignment matrix and attention cost calculator. If it is a no, use a mini script and close the loop. If it is a yes, define scope and next steps. Review weekly. Track one win and one lesson. Main content quick pre-flight checklist, check all that apply. I can explain the why in one sentence that connects to my values. The payoff matters in 3 months or more, not just today. Saying yes will not break my sleep, health, or non-negotiables. The requester respects my time. The worst case is tolerable, the best case is exciting. I am not saying yes to avoid discomfort or to please. I am willing to own the outcome. If this were tomorrow, I would still choose it. The hell yes or no ladder. Gut ping, do I feel pulled toward this without forcing it? If not a clear yes, treat as no for now. Values check, does this serve my top 3 values, growth, integrity, relationships, health, or impact? Cost check, list the time, energy, money, and focus it will consume. If cost is unclear, it is a no until clarified. Trade-off check, what will I drop to make room? If nothing, it is a no. Test check, can I run a small, low-risk version in 7 days? If yes, commit to the pilot, not the whole thing. Boundary check, write the conditions for a yes, scope, timeline, budget, and success metric. If conditions are not accepted, it is a no. Impact alignment matrix, prompts and worksheet. Impact, how much positive change does this create for my goals, low or high? Alignment, how closely does this fit my values and strengths, low or high? Decide, high impact and high alignment, do it. High impact and low alignment, delegate or redesign. Low impact and high alignment, schedule tightly or batch. Low impact and low alignment, delete. Template, copy, and fill. Decision name. Why it matters. Impact score, 1 to 5. Alignment score, 1 to 5. Risks and mitigations. Final move, do, delegate, redesign, schedule, delete. Attention cost calculator, quick math. Time, hours per week x weeks. Energy, low, medium, high. Money, cost minus expected return. Stress, low, medium, high. Opportunity loss, what good thing will be delayed? If time is more than 2 hours weekly, energy is high, and impact is low, it is a no. If money and time are neutral but alignment is high, try a 2-week pilot. Red flags for shiny objects. Promises easy wins without clear steps. Urgency pressure with vague details. You want it mainly for status or approval. You feel FOMO not purpose. It duplicates something already working. Your body feels tense, not excited. Many scripts for saying no. Thanks for thinking of me. I am not available. This is not a fit for my priorities right now. I am at capacity. Try me next quarter if still relevant. I can help for 15 minutes. For more, here is my rate. I will pass. Wishing you the best with it. I only commit when I can deliver. I cannot deliver this. Examples work, a recurring meeting invites you weekly. Impact is low, alignment is low. You decline and request notes. You save 2 hours weekly and finish a key project. Relationships, a friend wants free labor. You use the capacity script and offer a short call or a paid option. The friendship stays clean. Health, a new fitness trend tempts you. Matrix shows high alignment but unclear impact. You run a 2-week pilot, track energy, then commit. Personal growth, an online course with hype. Red flags show urgency and vagueness. You delete and invest in a book that aligns with your goals. Tips for success. Decide by conditions, not by mood. Use pilots to reduce fear. Name the trade-off out loud. Track your yes to no ratio weekly. Keep script saved in your notes app. Celebrate every clean no. Common mistakes. Saying maybe to avoid discomfort. Accepting vague requests without scope. Confusing busyness with impact. Ignoring body signals that say no. Letting guilt override values. Forgetting to review and learn. Next steps. Clarify your top 5 values and non-negotiables. Define success metrics for work, relationships, health, and growth. Add the checklist to your calendar and task app. Run a 7-day no experiment. Say no to everything not aligned. Review results, refine scripts, and reset boundaries. Boundary Script Builder Template. Bonus material title and overview. Boundary Script Builder Template. A fill-in-the-blank toolkit that creates clear, concise boundaries for work requests, weekend asks, family obligations, and social invites. Use the no sandwich structure, the red line rulebook prompts, and calendar-backed boundaries to craft scripts that are polite or firm or decisive. Includes follow-up lines for handling pushback, so you stop caring about trivial demands and start honoring what matters. Purpose and benefits. This template helps you say no without guilt, set limits without drama, and protect energy for the priorities that actually move your life forward. Benefits include less stress, fewer awkward yes, stronger self-respect, and more time for value-driven choices. It also keeps your language consistent, so people learn and accept your boundaries faster. How to use. Print or duplicate the template. Identify common scenarios that drain you. Complete the red line rulebook prompts. Build scripts with the no sandwich. Add calendar-backed boundaries when time blocking helps. Choose tone, polite or firm or decisive, based on context. Practice aloud. Use follow-up lines if someone pushes back. Review weekly and refine. Main content checklist, boundary readiness. I know my top 3 values this month. I have 3 non-negotiables defined. I set time blocks for work, family, and recovery. I can name the cost of a yes, time, energy, money. I have a short follow-up line ready. Template, no sandwich, 3 parts. Warm opener, brief acknowledgement. Example, I appreciate you thinking of me. Boundary statement, clear no or limit. Example, I am not available for that, or I cannot take this on. Redirect or option, if useful. Example, if you need X, try Y. I can revisit next month. Fill in the blanks. Opener, underscore 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 on. Boundary, underscore 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 on. Redirect or option, underscore 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 on. Red line rulebook, prompts. What I will not accept, 3 items. When I am unavailable, days and times. Requests that require a no, examples. Exceptions, rare and clear. Calendar-backed boundaries. Use time to anchor your limit. Examples. I am offline after 7 p.m. I will reply tomorrow. I do deep work weekdays, 9 to noon. Meetings after 1. I am not free on Sundays. If it is urgent, schedule Monday morning. Fill in your schedule. Personal quiet time, underscore 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 on. Work focus blocks, underscore 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 on. Family or friend windows, underscore 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 underscore. Recovery or exercise, underscore 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 underscore. Tone variations. Polite. Thanks for asking. I am not available for that. If you need X, Y can help. Firm. That does not work for me. I am unavailable. Here is an alternative if you need it. Decisive. No, I do not do that. Use this option instead. Push back follow-up lines. I get that it is important to you. It still does not work for me. Repeating my boundary. I am unavailable. If that changes, I will reach out. I am choosing not to. Please proceed without me. Examples: work request, extra task on Friday afternoon, polite. I appreciate the trust. I am not available this afternoon. If you need it done today, please assign it to the on-call person. I can review Monday. Firm. That conflicts with my focus block and deadline. I am unavailable. Send it to the shared queue. Decisive. No, I am not taking new tasks today. Use the team process. Weekend ask, friend wants help moving, polite. You mean a lot to me. I am not free to help with moving. I can lend my dolly or share a mover contact. Firm. I do not do manual move jobs. I am unavailable. Try the community helper group. Decisive. No, I do not move furniture. Hire movers. Family obligation, last minute dinner, polite. I love you. Tonight does not work for me. Let us schedule next week, Tuesday or Thursday. Firm. I am not available tonight. I can do a call on Sunday at 3. Decisive. No. Not tonight. Check my calendar link for options. Social invite, draining event, polite. Thanks for thinking of me. I am sitting this one out. Have an amazing time. Firm. That event is not a fit for me. I am unavailable. Wishing you a great night. Decisive. No. Not my scene. Tips for success. Keep sentences short. One idea per line. Lead with respect, hold your line. Use calendar anchors for clarity. Offer one redirect, not 5. Practice neutral tone. No apology needed. Save your best scripts. Reuse them. Common mistakes. Over-explaining, which invites debate. Softening the no into a maybe. Offering multiple exceptions. Forgetting to state consequences, I will not respond until Monday. Using sarcasm instead of clarity. Next steps: pair this template with chapter exercises on values, resilience, and self-respect. Update your rulebook monthly. Use calendar-backed boundaries to protect your priorities. Rehearse scripts until they feel natural. Then live them, consistently. That is how you stop giving a damn about the trivial, and start giving care to what matters. Values to Calendar Weekly Planning Guide. Bonus material: title and overview. Values to Calendar Weekly Planning Guide Overview. Translate values into calendar blocks. Build a week that reflects what matters, not noise. Set non-negotiables, create daily focus stacks, batch inputs, and protect your attention. Purpose and benefits: why this bonus is valuable. Clarifies what deserves time and energy. Aligns attention with values, builds self-respect. Reduces decision fatigue and reactive days. Helps say no fast and guilt-free. How to use: clear instructions for implementation. Reserve 1 hour weekly for planning. Keep 3 to 5 core values visible. Block sleep, movement, meals, family first. Add daily focus stacks, then meetings. Review 5 minutes each day, adjust. Main content: templates, checklists, and step-by-step guide. Checklist: values to calendar setup. I named my top values. I set non-negotiable blocks for sleep and movement. I defined 1 daily focus stack per day. I batched email and messages into short windows. I scheduled a weekly review and a daily check-in. Template: weekly values calendar. Core values: list 3 to 5. Non-negotiables: sleep, movement, meals, family. Daily focus stacks: 1 or 2 blocks per day. Input batches: 2 short windows. Flex blocks: 1 per day. End of week review notes. Step-by-step guide: build your week. Step 1: name values and pick top 3. Step 2: block non-negotiables before anything else. Step 3: create 1 clear focus stack daily. Step 4: batch inputs into 2 windows. Step 5: add value-aligned routines. Step 6: Place meetings around the important blocks. Step 7. Keep flex blocks for surprises. Step 8. Review daily and weekly, then adjust. Worksheet, 1-page attention budget. My 3 values. Non-negotiable blocks per day. Focus stacks for the week. Input batches. Flex blocks. Outcome goals for each value. What I will stop, start, continue. Implementation framework, attention budget. Pillar 1, values first. Always place value blocks before requests and meetings. If a block must move, it moves as a unit. Pillar 2, stacks over lists. Replace todo lists with daily focus stacks, 1 meaningful action per value each day. Pillar 3, inputs last. Handle email and messages in batches to protect deep work. Weekly rhythm, plan Friday or Sunday, execute Monday to Friday, review Sunday night. Adjust the next week based on 3 notes: keep, change, drop. Protectors, calendar holds, clear names, and simple rules: no email until the first focus stack is done. Reset protocol, when the day explodes, take 2 minutes, breathe, pick the single next action, and relaunch the current block. Examples, real-world applications case, Maya, values are health, family, growth. She blocks sleep, a short run, breakfast with kids, and a 2-hour deep work block for study. Email at 11 and 4 for 15 minutes. Meetings after 1. A flex block at 3 on Thursday saves the day. Week ends with a quick review and a family movie. Sample layout, Mon deep work 9 to 11, email 11,15, family 6 to 7. Tuesday skill 8 to 9, email 10,15, flex 3 to 3,15. Tips for success, best practices and optimization. Name blocks after values for instant clarity. For travel, add extra flex and shorter focus stacks. When interrupted, move the block, do not delete. Use calendar holds, and a simple note, focus time. End each day with a 1 to 5 alignment score. Common mistakes, what to avoid? No flex blocks, then chaos. Starting with meetings instead of values. Vague focus stacks, no single action. Email outside the batch windows. Changing the plan without a weekly review. Next steps, how to integrate with main ebook content. Pair this guide with the chapter on picking what matters, cut 3 low-value obligations. Use letting go to drop 1 meeting and 1 toxic task. Apply resilience when a block gets wrecked, reschedule without shame. Use reflection questions to refine values and stack blocks. Each Sunday, update the 1-page attention budget. Troubleshooting and review. Interruptions, move the block to the next flex slot, then send a quick note with the new time. Travel, shrink focus stacks, expand flex, and protect sleep. Unpredictable workloads, use shorter stacks, aim for 1 win before noon. Review questions, what value did I honor today, where did I leak attention, what will I stop, start, continue next week tomorrow.